this time. This time I just
Mm-mm.
and we're live now.
Welcome to the greatest Colloquium Captus in existence. I have here with me two of the brokest Nick. No, I'm joking. I have here with me two of the coolest niggas in the universe. On one end, we have Harambe, recently escaped from the Bronx Zoo, and we're
This video is gonna be taken down for bullying.
On the other end, we have. I can't think of anything. Yeah, we have the Electric Jolt, the man with a plan, the ultimate Nas fan, the Electric Jolt, E to the motherfucking J. Today he's hiding the hairline because he knows what's gonna happen.
This is sure. This is sure.
So what you guys been up to?
You know, clerical things, calling customer services and whatnot. Bro, I stay calling customer service, bro. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, bro. My parents always doing something wrong with their orders. I gotta go fix it.
Huh. Man, maybe you should work for customer service.
Man, honestly, I actually was thinking about this the other day. Like, there's too many protections that those niggas can really lie to your face and nothing. Bro, like, I could be a customer service representative. I could tell you all the wrong information, and then I hang up, and it doesn't matter. Like, just does not matter.
Now how that works? They record the calls.
See,
if you fuck up,
like, but like they only
who could pull those recordings though? Like Ray can't. Like if he's the consumer, he can't pull the recording and be like, "Oh yeah, on this day at such and such time they told me the wrong information."
So here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about those quality assurance agents, because I was literally about to be hired to be one. Like, they literally just sit there listening to you, and if they don't know the policy and you're sitting there lying about the policy, if you just sound confident, they're not gonna flag it. They're not gonna flag it. So, like, if it's something like super bad, like, yeah, we're gonna give you this, and this, all for the low price of free, then they'll probably be like, yo, what are you doing? But if they're like, because what happened to me was Walmart was like, oh yeah, we fixed your issue. All you gotta do is wait an hour and then order again. And then, like, I called like 3 different times, and one person was like, yeah, no, none of that was true. Like, I was really like I had the manager escalate me to their manager because I was tight, bro. And they're like, yeah, none of that's true. And I was like, so I've had six other niggas lie to me. What y'all gonna do about this? They're like, well, she said nothing. She's like, there's nothing that was gonna be done. She said nothing. And I was like, yo, that's fucking crazy. They were like, yo, we can give you 20% off. How about that? I was like, it's been a whole day. It's been 24 hours of me calling this fucking hotline over and over, and all y'all gonna do is give me 20% off.
Reminds me when you called that Uber and they took your money, and you over here sitting outside calling.
I literally ordered when we were on our little trip. Ordered the Uber. That nigga was just driving
Somebody
away.
got in your shit.
The nigga was just driving away. I called. They were like, I got refunded eventually. But I was like, yo, what the fuck, my guy?
Put the passcode on that. Like, nah.
Like, that's not happening again. That's not happening again.
Miami, they different out there. They just be taking people's cabs. It's crazy.
Did you call quality assurance on your barber?
Too many, bro. Come on, relax yourself. Relax yourself. Look at him enjoying that garbage.
Imagine there was like a barber association and you get called.
A barber union?
I wouldn't be surprised if there was one. I would not be surprised. In fact, let me
Barbers United.
No, like let's say like they fuck up your hairline and you can call in and like report them for fucking up your hairline.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I went in for a shape up on a Tuesday at 6:30 and I didn't get the hairline that I was promised. What can be done about that?
Like nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like nothing can be done about that. I'm sorry. But yeah. Did you hear, EJ, that Superman has been removed from his post?
Well, the guy that played Superman, not Superman himself.
Yeah, Henry Cavill.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man.
Henry Cavill was Superman, man.
Who else is out there that could play a better Superman than he did?
I guess
You know,
Christopher Reeves, but he's dead.
What kind of statement is that?
I mean, he played a pretty good Superman, but he's
It's like, who else is out there? It's like, this one dead guy. Like,
yeah. Who else? I mean, I guess Brandon Ruth did a good job too. It's just that you've seen Superman Returns. I mean, both of you have obviously seen Superman Returns. Like,
yeah, but like,
I see that movie.
I don't know people's names.
You didn't see Superman Returns, Eric?
This guy, this guy right here.
I want to get into some of the older Superman films, or just I don't know, watching more stuff with him in it, because ever since I seen that Kill Bill scene, even though it's probably inaccurate now, because it's not, things evolve over time. But when he was talking about the greatness of Superman, I'm like, yeah,
it was inaccurate.
Maybe a fan.
It was inaccurate the moment he said it, but it was interesting. It's still interesting.
This was fine.
Because like what he was talking about, and Bill's came off as an old guy. So when he read Superman comics, this is probably how it was, because he seems to be pretty old. He's probably reading them when he was a kid. That probably was like the 1960s. And old school Superman, like Golden Age and Silver Age Superman, 100%. The Clark Kent was literally just a disguise. Like there was no Clark Kent.
Did you fuck with Smallville or not?
Yeah, Smallville was a good show, but when you get to like the Smallville era, when you get to like from like, I'll say like the mid to late 80s, well into modern times, Clark Kent was the real person and Superman was the disguise. So it became like reversed,
I mean, he's still true to a degree, like when he was saying that, because he was actually he wasn't born on Earth, right? He was born on another planet. So by default, you are growing accustomed to a society that you are not like keenly familiar with.
Well, no, because he was a baby. Like he was like born.
Okay.
Thrown off the planet.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So he went to Earth like right after.
He was a baby. Yeah.
He was basically born and raised on Earth.
Yeah, the thing with Superman Returns, it's not a bad movie per se, but the reason why it gets so much flack is because it was trying really hard to recreate the trappings of the original Donner films. So like it kind of like people got bored of it, because like, and over the course of the movie, nothing really happens in it. Like there's no big fight or anything. It's kind of just Superman, he's back, and like so it's like it's not the most exciting movie on the planet. It's not a bad movie. It's just not the most exciting, But yeah, Brandon Ruth did a really good job. He's a very convincing Superman. He's good at it. And I remember it has one of the funniest scenes where basically Lois is like looking over like the stats on Superman, like how tall he is, his build and stuff. And as she's describing him, she starts to realize that Clark kind of fits she's looking at him, and then as she looks up at him, and her fiance are staring at each other, they're just like, really, Clark? And then he looks up and does something goofy, and they start laughing. They're like, yeah, no, it couldn't be him. They're like, no, it couldn't be him. I think he heard them, so he did the goofy thing on purpose.
Imagine being in the same room with Superman, don't hear you. That'd be goofy as fuck.
I remember there's a comic where Lex Luthor puts this information into a machine to try and figure out who Superman is, and it tells him that it's Clark Kent, but he just can't accept it because Clark Kent is like such an inept fool to him, such a bumbling fool that it just doesn't make any sense. He's like, why would Superman hire as this bumbling fool? Yeah.
And I'm not even saying Clark Kent's a loser. Like he's a loser. It's like that's the person he wants everyone to perceive him as.
He's not written as a loser anymore. They kind of just make him a normal.
Like now he's just like he's just Clark Kent. But before he'd be like you said, that bumbling fool. He'd be that loser. I do like when they like really ham it up with Clark Kent. Like he's just like really awkward.
I don't like
when they do it because it's kind of funny.
It's dumb. I don't like when it's
funny.
Like I feel like when you ham it up a little bit, but I do feel like sometimes they overdo it, and like it's like you're not selling it.
I like when there's a difference between Clark Kent and Superman. When he's just I am Clark Kent. It's like, nigga, you're Superman. He's like, what are you talking about?
No, I disagree with that.
I don't like when they do that shit.
I kept telling girls about that. I was like, there's no, well, not just girls, but mostly girls would be the ones that talk to me about this. I don't know why. Anyways,
I don't think anyone would figure it out. I'm not saying anyone would figure it out, but I just like as a reader, I don't like when they're the same person.
I was like, all that would happen is people would be like, hey, you look just like Superman.
I think American Alien did that. They're like, yo, bro, you look just like him. He's like, yeah, I get that a lot. You know, he's he's like, damn, now you figured it out. Hell, he could probably say, damn, you figured it out. People be like, haha, nice joke.
He did that in Superman the Animated Series. Lois Lane is like, how do you always get to the stories first? How do you always beat me? And he's like, well, it's simple, Lois. I'm actually Superman, and I use my superpowers to get the byline before you. And she's like, oh, yeah, whatever, Clark. Like, he's just joking. He straight up told her. He's like, I'm Superman.
Yeah, like, I sound like I hate things like that. It's just, as a reader, when I read that they're literally, like, written as the same person, I just don't like it. It's not that I think people would figure it out. I just like, I like the separation. Batman sucks.
Speaking of Henry Cavill, he did that. He went into the middle of like Times Square and was just standing there. No one recognized him. No one knew that it was him.
Bro, the amount of times that celebrities are just sitting on the train and no one will know.
Yeah. Like, I mean, we saw a celebrity in the park. I looked and I was like, wait a minute. I recognized. It was crazy. Like
we saw a semi-celebrity in Miami.
Yeah, I was
but he's talking about like a guy who's been on TV.
Yeah, I saw some guy who was on TV. I'm looking at him I'm like, and it was the same thing. This is how you know if you saw Superman in front of you, you wouldn't be able to tell. Because I'm like, no, that can't be. Is that him? That can't be him. I was like, and then it was him. When he started walking away, I swear he looked at me, and in the moment he looked at me, that's when they started leaving. Like he could see in my eyes that I noticed who he was, and I guess he was like, yeah, let me get the fuck up out of here. I don't want to be like, bothered.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, man. So Henry Cavill is out, but Ezra Miller is fucking. Apparently, he's still on. Right now, he's still on.
Doesn't he have actual crimes under his belt?
Yeah, man has been accused of fucking kidnapping. Fucking kidnapping. And he's still going to be in this movie playing the Flash. Isn't that crazy? And not just kidnapping, fucking grooming, everything. Now, let me see if I could pull up a list of
rap sheet
crimes. Yeah. Or the crimes he's been accused of anyway. Yeah, it's right here. Ezra Miller's allegations in mental health. A timeline.
Ezra Miller crime list. A timeline of Ezra Miller's legal troubles. Here, let me put it up on the stream.
Oh, they're showing like older stuff.
Teenage hijinks in 2011, 2020 choking incident, 2022 threatening the KKK.
That was
2022 Hawaii arrest number 1, 2022 Hawaii arrest number 2, protective orders June 2022, August 22 cult leader status.
Yep.
Felony burglary arrest August again, bro. These is like, my man, bro. The list keeps going. A spiritual journey gone haywire. Pleading not guilty for burglary. All right, that's it.
Yeah, it's crazy, and he's still going to play the Flash, but Henry Cavill is out.
I mean, Henry's out not because the company had to drop him for any specific reason.
No, but think about it. The company's saying they want to have a new direction, right? But you keep on the guy who has a rap sheet longer than my arm and is literally believed to be a groomer cult leader.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the reasons were separate.
Just if you want to save the company, the first thing I would do is let go of that nigga Ezra Miller. I would kick his ass.
If Ezra does stay, but Superman has to get replaced, it would be weird, right? Because you see this guy who's with the other guy, and you're like, so it's the same universe then.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's the fact that he's literally like a fucking people believe him to be a criminal. The movie's probably not going to make any money. I doubt people are going to go watch that.
I wasn't watching it, even if he wasn't a criminal. I wasn't going to watch no Flash movie.
Yeah, you were going to watch it.
No,
yeah, the Flash. You were going to see
I was
Flash
watching the movie, bro.
A Flash movie.
See, not this Flash. I'm not watching this Flash. Like, if it was an animated Flash movie, yeah. But this nigga, who the fuck is this? Who is this, bro?
The Flash.
No, he's more like he's more like the Streak, bro.
He's the Rash.
He's more like the Blur. The Blur.
He's the Nash. That's what he is.
Oh
Yeah, Dash. Yeah,
Bro, if they made a live action Dash movie though,
why the fuck do we need that?
we don't at all.
Yeah,
But if they
I
made
would
one,
not. I would not watch that.
I'd watch it.
It's like,
I'd watch
why?
it. Why? Because he's Dash. He's the fastest man alive.
He's only a boy.
He's the fastest boy alive.
Yeah. He's a child. A child who committed several murders. What? He committed several
In
murders.
self-defense, they were literally
Yeah,
shooting guns at him, bro.
Now, okay, so here's the thing. When he was running on the water, like the other ones, you could say they were crashing when they were chasing him, but there was the time he tricked those two niggas into crashing into each other. So that was a legitimate murder.
All my mans did was run away.
No, that one.
All my mans did was run. If you are so incompetent that you are not aware of your surroundings, and you and your so-called partners fly into each other, that is not on the fault of the boy.
Hey, who else did he? Oh no, he didn't kill him. He didn't kill him, but Jack murdered Syndrome.
Oh, Jack's a murderer, bro. Jack straight up. He looked at this man and was like, "You ain't my dad."
Yep. Yeah, he threw him into a fucking like turnpike or some shit.
Actually, that was his own fault. As Edna said, no more capes.
No more capes. Yeah.
No more capes.
But,
which was a really nice callback to this seemingly random thing in the beginning of the movie, right?
Yeah.
It really did just seem like it was some random eccentricisms from this like lady who's a fashion designer, right? No, it turned out she was right. A lot. Like I know she shows examples in the what
was that a quote? What was that a callback to?
Oh, in the beginning of the movie, like Mr. Incredible is like, "Yo, can you make me a new suit, like something with a cape?" And she's like, "No more capes." And like she like tells all these people she designed for, and like why she doesn't want capes. And then at the end of the movie, my boy Syndrome dies because he had a cape on.
Because of his cape.
And Syndrome was the guy in the white costume, right?
Yeah, he was.
Well, black and white.
Yeah.
Black and white.
Salt and pepper.
Yeah. His cape was how he died, and he died.
I still ain't seen Incredibles, man. I'm slacking.
What?
You didn't see the? You'll get the fuck.
I see clips from it. Like
bro,
this ain't
like
him
from the chat.
How have you never seen? It's a really good movie,
bro. You didn't see Mulan, bro.
Have you seen Mulan?
Yes. Well, her village burned, and she had to come back and see. You know what I'm saying? The people of her village devastated, bro. Without food, without shelter.
See, here's the difference, though. Mulan came out in 1998. This nigga was 2.
Yeah.
Incredibles came out in like what 2002.
And he was 4. His lyrics.
Let me see.
Or wait, my math ain't mathing.
Jesus Christ.
Incredibles came out in it was 2004.
Yeah, I was a big ass boy. I was a big ass boy by then. You know, big ass boy.
You were about 8. You were about 8.
Yeah, I was the demographic for it, man.
Literally, there was a movie made for you.
Yeah.
You EJ, you were like 6.
I was outside by that point.
You were outside.
You
were 6, my nigga.
I was outside
doing
baby.
what, bro? Outside doing what, bro? Eating bugs, nigga. He was outside eating dirt.
Playing games like tag and manhunt.
He was making
you should have been outside pretending to be Mr. Incredible, but you ain't see that movie.
Yeah, you could have been the kid who saw him lifting the car above his head.
I was like, what are you waiting for? I don't know. Something cool, I guess.
Yeah. And he's like, me too, kid. Me too. One of the saddest, one of the most hard.
That line hits different now that you're an adult.
He said, me too, kid. Me too. But, yeah, man. So, yeah. I mean, how do you feel about, you haven't seen any of the new Superman films, right, EJ?
I've seen nothing Superman related except for Batman versus Superman, which you swear by. And I still think that was a bad movie.
I love that movie. I love
the movie. I'm gonna take the middle path here. So
yeah, I love that movie.
I don't think it's as bad as people say. I don't think it's as good as he says though. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ben
Affleck wasn't doing it for me, man. I know you think he's a good Batman.
Batman look though. The armored Batman look was really good.
I think Ben Affleck is the one thing people praise about that movie.
Man, it's because he was Batman.
I'm so far removed from that that world. So
Batman was such a piece of shit.
No, I mean like even people who absolutely hated the movie and don't even because the thing is right with superhero films is they're not made for superhero fans. They're not. They're made for normal people.
They're made for families, with kids.
This man said superhero fans are not normal people. Wow.
So they're not. But anyway, I'll get to that later. But it's like they're not made for normal people. They're made for they're not made for actual people who read the comics or in the fandom.
Man,
and
name 3 Batman comics right now, bro.
Well, I mean, Batman is a terrible. I can only list the only good Batman comics, or like the few ones that I enjoyed. Of course, you have Year One, which everyone loves.
I like Year One too.
A guy was making a good point about this, where it's like he was saying, with how fucked the continuity in these comic universes are, if someone asks you, "Oh, what can I read to get a good understanding of Batman?" He's like, "Dude, you can't answer them because there's
you can't.
Yeah, there's no timeline. It's just you just have a bunch of stories that are disparate and separated from each other. So it's like you can't just be like, oh, if you read this thing, you'll get an essential understanding of Batman because they reboot these motherfuckers every 2 years.
Yeah, that's not a Batman thing. That's a superhero thing in general.
Yeah, but Henry Cavill, I think, was probably one of the best Superman of recent memory, mainly because he looked a lot. He looked like what you'd expect Superman to look like. And I actually enjoyed his take on him. Other people don't, but I enjoyed the lost, the wayward son kind of approach they were going with him. Like, I don't know why people think that the man should have just been the perfect Superman from day one. He should have known everything. Like, I saw this thing where people were criticizing Man of Steel, right? And they were saying this is a criticism you heard for years, but I was why am I talking like a retard all of a sudden? Anyways, I was watching some people argue about the movie again. And people were like, so you're telling me that at no point during the fight with Zod, he couldn't have went and saved some people? And I read the things in the
comments. They wanted Superman, as he is fighting a guy on his equal, to go be like, hey, by the way, time out, let me go save that.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. As I'm reading, I'm like, these idiots have never been in a fight.
Bro, I don't even think you need to be in a fight to understand. It's I
think Spider-Man did that though, didn't he? In the first one, where he's fighting Green Goblin, and then there was a burning baby in the building. He was fighting him, but then he went to go handle that at the same time.
Right. I know Green Goblin tricked him and got him to go into a burning building so he could fuck him up.
Yeah, I don't think it was an actual. Yeah. Wait. It was like
he did, right?
No, he was pretending to be a person in a burning building, and then he started boxing him in the burning building.
Yeah. That's what caught his attention. That's what guys' attention. That's what guys' attention. Like, oh, somebody's dying in that building.
Yeah.
And then he dressed up as like an old lady. I think that's what it was.
He had like a sheet over him.
Yeah.
He's like, help me, Spider-Man. Yo, that man's a menace, bro. Green Goblin's a menace.
Impressive. That always makes me laugh.
Oh, man.
Catch his hand with no effort. How is that impressive? I don't understand. How is it impressive? I want to ask him, just making fun of him?
Willem Dafoe, man. I love it.
No. It's like Superman fighting a man on his. Anyone fighting someone of your equal strength, right? Like, it's a mirror match, bro.
He's literally better than you. The guy's a better fighter than you.
True. But this man, let's just say, for argument's sake, they are just a mirror match. You're fighting yourself. At no point when you're fighting yourself can you just be like, damn, I need to do other things right now. I gotta fucking flip this egg. I gotta put the toast in the toaster. I gotta go put bread on the... No. That man's beating your ass, and you taking all your attention to not get your ass beat.
Yep. And then top it off, it's not even like you're in a normal fight. In that scenario, niggas getting punched in the space and shit.
This man is getting knocked around. How many cities did they fly to when they were fighting, bro?
They literally went into the fucking atmosphere. Like, they went into the atmosphere and fell back on. During their fight, a fucking meteor shower happens because a fucking satellite enters the atmosphere. And, apparently Superman was just supposed to be like, fuck, I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck they're... I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Like, that's like because during the Avengers movie, right? There was none of those niggas were stopping the fight to
They
go
weren't.
save. I mean,
They weren't.
they kind of did, I guess. There's like one scene where Captain America.
Yeah, Captain. Like, in the beginning of the fight, Captain's like, "Shield, get to safety, citizen," and then none of that shit ever happens again. Yeah. Also, they're fighting what in New York City? That was a very empty New York City.
Yeah. Oh, you saw that fucking terrible Civil War movie. How many people died in the invasion of New York City? They said like 75 or some shit.
Bro,
it was 75.
I'll pull it up right now. I'll pull it up.
It was like, what was it? It was goofy. Like, look it up.
Very small number. Let me see.
It was goofy. I was like, there's no way a whole ass invasion happened.
What's the general name?
The Battle of New York. What'd you say, EJ?
Zod.
No, the guy who's giving them the briefing. I forgot his name.
Oh, General Thunderbolt Ross. Would you probably look up Battle of New York casualties, and they probably would have came up.
Battle of New York casualties. I'm finding actual things like there's real life events.
Oh, just look up MCU.
I found it too.
The casualties. I remember during the movie, I was like, "There's no way only that much people."
All right, it says 1, 2, 3. It says 74 civilian deaths, numerous police officers and military men, and $88 billion in property damage. There's no way.
74 people, my guy. 74 people.
No way. As a New York nigga myself, I can guarantee you.
The whole city's invaded. Only 74 people died.
If a portal opened up above fucking they were at Grand Central even. If in the middle of Manhattan, bro.
Right, that's the thing.
Midtown Manhattan, bro.
It wasn't just that part of the city.
I know, but I'm saying just for the scale to open up a portal above Midtown Manhattan and only 74 niggas got hurt, bro. That's not even possible.
Only 74 people died. They don't even mention the injury.
Like, bro, 74 people, civilians, a questionable amount of like officers and whatever, and like, what is this? I'm looking at the list. It's like 6 random people. No, absolutely not, bro. Especially like the fucking tank thing was flying through buildings, bro.
That shit was knocking
through buildings, bro.
Yes, right through buildings. Like that shit would have had like fucking hundreds. Bro,
I can't think of any place in New York where there are only 75 people.
That's what I was saying.
Like, I'm trying to think of such a small number of people anywhere in New York.
I can probably walk over to any nightclub part of New York. Open fire, right? Just open fire. Let's say the police
don't say those words. Holy shit. Holy fuck, bro.
Okay, you know what? It's a hypothetical, feds.
It's too late.
Anyway,
it's too late.
So, let's say you did that, right? And you walk down the street. Let's say no one stopped you for about 30 minutes. You'd probably kill more than
30 minutes? Nigga.
Somehow no one stopped you.
There's more than 75 people in any given club in New York.
Yeah.
Even in the smallest ones we've been to.
I don't know.
There's like, bro, 74 people is not a lot of people.
Yeah, but not that you said any given club. Like, I don't know about that.
Bro,
even the places balls.
Even the places we've been. I said club. No dive.
Or you said club. Yeah, you said club.
Nah, the clubs, some of the clubs we've been to definitely had more than 75, but some of them,
I'm saying, like, not the dive bars. Like, if you talk about like
yeah.
I don't want to say it on TV. That place we go to relax sometimes, like, there's not 75 niggas in there. Yeah. There's not. With our homeboy Andre, there's not 75 people in there. But I'm not counting as a club. Right?
Yeah.
But the place right above it, right upstairs, there's 75 niggas in there. Easy.
Nigeria, yeah. Nigeria.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember how
74 people in there, easy. 74 people in there, 70 people fucking diagonally across, easily another 74 people. 2 stops down, another 74 people. Bro, in the park in the middle of the night, there's at least 20 people in that park, bro.
I don't say 70.
There's at least 20 people in the park after hours.
50% homeless. 50% homeless.
Bro, bro, I can throw a stone and I can find 74 people in New York City.
Yeah, but people to this day still, when those MCU movies come on, man, they're always just like, with their mouths wide open is still
Fuck was
amazing.
that?
That's how they literally react.
So
when they'll make videos, it'll be like them in the thumbnail like this. And then that's how these niggas, yo, it's real goofy how excited these niggas get for these superhero films. It's kind of sad. Kind of sad, really. And that's why I was gonna say there's something wrong with superhero fans. Like I feel like I've been thinking about this a lot recently, that at some point you kind of have to grow out of these things. And I really think you do. I think you can't really enjoy them as much. It's different if you're making them, like if you're that passionate about it that you're making stuff now. But like I feel like at some point you kind of have to grow out of wanting to watch all this wish fulfillment, and you got to do things in your real life, you know? Because like when people say goofy stuff, like I always found this argument real goofy. They're like, oh, I like that they made black so and so character because I was finally able to see myself. You know, I'm like, you need to see yourself in a fucking comic book in order to feel in order to feel pride.
I will say,
you need to see yourself in a fucking
it's
comic
cool
book.
as fuck when there is a person of color on screen. It's not cool when it's just a black Superman. Like, it's like
I have never ever felt no weird pride shit or nothing.
Maybe
when I saw
that's because you hate yourself, and that's just the personal journey you gotta take on. But
I was just a normal human.
I'm sorry.
I lived in the real world. I touched grass, and I realized that these were fictional fucking characters.
See, what I'm saying is, it's not like seeing that person. I'm like, yeah, now I can go home and play pretend. Because now I finally got a character. I could never be Spider-Man.
That is, bro. That's literally what it is.
Now I can be Spider-Man, bro, because they got mine.
That's what these people do.
That's just weird.
That's what they do.
Like, I like seeing characters. I just like seeing different characters. I'm tired of seeing the same white bread people on this TV.
Yo, you don't care for representation?
No. But see, that's the thing.
See, I don't like it when it's there just to say that. Like, I don't like when it's just a check mark. I don't like that. Because, bro, Fillmore was cool as fuck. Why was Fillmore cool as fuck? It wasn't because he was black.
Yeah.
It was because he was black. He was a cool-ass guy. He was just also black.
No, because you guys probably also thought Nigel Uno was cool.
Nigel Uno was cool as hell. Why? It wasn't because he was white. It was because he was cold as fuck.
What Fillmore said when he told Shorty, he's like, man, that chick was dry. Real dry. He said, be at the agency at 10 p.m. or whatever time.
Next Door specifically, they had an Australian, 2 different white people,
black,
Asian, and a black person.
Yeah, but
no one.
What was number 4? What was number 4? He was white,
Australian.
Right? He's Australian.
Yeah, he was Australian. That's why he was number 4. Well, no, he was Australian because he was number 4, and it was the Beatles had 4 people in it.
I thought it was cool how they always had it. They always had his face covered. That was cool. They always had his face covered.
It was just like no one gave a shit that all of the kids from the Kids Next Door were different races, because it wasn't like, yeah, let me spend 50 minutes explaining to you why it's so important that number 3 is Asian. She just was Asian because they were like, yeah, these are random kids from the neighborhood. They will just be random people from the neighborhood.
This idea that we've been seeing the same white bread characters is objectively false. Like, I can show you, I've been trying to explain this to people for years. I can show you the hundreds of mainstream popular characters who are various races. This idea that, oh, we've been stuck with all this white representation was a recent thing that just came up out of nowhere. That's not fucking true. Like, especially in DC Comics and Marvel Comics.
There's like, yeah, I have nothing.
Yeah, during the 70s and the 80s, they would come up with they had a fucking, I remember I was reading something talking about the Muslim representation. DC has had Muslim superheroes before. They've had Muslim superheroes and supervillains. So this idea, I don't
remember how Miss Marvel was Muslim?
Oh, God.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither, bro. Me neither. They were like, oh, she's Muslim. Then they never talk about that shit again.
See, that's the thing. They did talk about it a lot in the original book.
Yeah, but as I'm saying, like, they were like, they got that check mark. He's like, you remember it? Never talked about it again.
Right. But it's like but in the show, they fucking apparently go.
I didn't watch the show.
But anyways, yeah, I'm not watching that garbage either. But the point is, like, at least in the past, they would try to create an interesting character and try to utilize some certain backdrop to make that character, right? Now it'll be like take Miles Morales, for example. his whole thing is literally that he is Black Superman. He is a Superman that is black.
Miles
And then they
Morales
literally
is Spider-Man.
Wannabe Spider-Man, anyways, or Peter Darker as they call him.
Peter Darker. Oh my god. Yeah, no, his original story was really just he was just Peter Parker again.
He's still nothing but Peter Darker to this day, man. He's still nothing but Peter Darker.
If you don't read the comics.
No, even in the car, he's a fucking nerd who's kind of smart. Like he's like
in that video game, which they fucked up my boy's hairline in that game, bro. They fucked up they fucked him up. I don't know who did that shit, bro. They did my boy dirty in that game. Oh my god. Oh
well, here's the thing.
God. He needed to go to a barber before he. Anyway.
Yeah, it's like he's
in
black.
The video game, his backstory was a little different.
Yeah, and then they did the same thing. They literally did that with Superman of China. There was a Superman of China. There was a Batman of China. It was just like we got Chinese version of these characters now. Like, what the fuck?
I remember the Chinese Batman. He was hilarious because he literally was just like, "Yo, what's your superpower? Money." That shit was
it's just a weird. It's weird that it happened. It's a weird concept.
But it was like, it was funny because like he was literally just like, "I'm rich enough to be Batman, so I'm gonna be Batman."
No, but I'm saying the people who created that concept.
No, the idea.
Where the hell did that come from? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why did you make original Chinese characters?
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I'm just like, yo, I don't want people to just be the same person, but my color now. It's like, make a new character. Like, Static Shock is cool because he was Static Shock. Like, he wasn't just another character, just, yeah. Yo, someone give me a marker? Yeah, color it in, baby.
He's Black Lightning.
Who's Black Lightning?
Everyone knows Static Shock was the original Black Spider-Man and the much better version.
Bro, everyone who's a teenager is just Spider-Man. Danny Phantom, Static Shock, American Dragon Jake Long. They're all just Spider-Man, bro.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, I guess we can move on to something else. EJ,
I want to talk about American Dragon Jake Long and how he shafted my girl Juniper Lee, bro.
I have a topic. Let's talk about why you so fucking ugly. Yo, what would you do if you Googled your name and there was like an hour-long video about why you specifically suck? Like, and you didn't know this existed.
You know that happened, bro? That happened to somebody. Like, so one of these streamers, he did a face reveal, right? He did a face reveal, and then Twitter blew up because everyone was calling that man ugly as fuck. I was like, yo.
He wasn't even ugly. He wasn't even ugly. He was a normal-looking guy. Normal-looking guy. You're like, he's ugly.
Yo, I was like, bro, there were mad other comments. They were like, that nigga, the other guy. There's another guy who doesn't. They're like, Marshmallow's not showing his face. It's like all these other streamers not showing their face. It's like, oh man, it was goofy as hell. Also, that did happen to me. That happened to me IRL, actually. I told you the story. I was like putting like Valentine's Day things on all my fucking in my dorm. I was putting Valentine's Day things up. You know, something silly, like something real fucking silly. Like one of them was just like I don't remember. Oh yeah, it was like a Harry Potter thing. It was like I'm trying to slither in your pants or some stupid shit like that, right? And then like I put it up, and these girls like came back to their dorm, and they're like, "Oh, that's so cute. I wish I knew who it was." And I'm standing like around the corner, like it was like weird. And then I was like, "Oh yeah, I put it up." And they're, "Oh, thanks." I literally turned the corner, bro. I don't even leave. I turn the corner, and they like say mad loud. Damn, I wish he was cuter though. I was like, "What the fuck, bro? I'm not even gone yet." And I was like, "Thanks, I guess." And they're like, "Oh my god, he heard us." It's like, bro, when I say I'm around the corner, I mean I am literally not even 5 feet away, bro. Not even 3 feet away, bro. What? It was fucking lacking of object permanence, bro. I was like, yo, what are you, 3? Like, how the fuck did you just... How did that fall out your mouth? I never did that shit again.
Yeah, Ray, it's okay. I'm just going to need you to log off, bro.
Yeah, take that out, bro. Take that out.
Bro, I told my friends about that. She went to go find them. She went to go box them, bro.
Yo, none of your friends are hard, bro. What are you talking about?
Nah. My girl Alana will fight you, bro. Alana will fight you.
Yeah, she's still not hard.
She'll fight you, bro. She'll fight you.
what do you call it? What was I gonna say? I remember one time we were doing this collage thing. I may have mentioned this on stream already, where I had this idea where it was like I wanted there to be like a robot in the collage, and we had to pass it around the class, and somehow I don't remember how we did it, but like when it gets to the end, no one's supposed to know who suggested that thing, and then like later at the end of the class, one of the students is talking to us, talking to me and my boy Kumar, and he's like, "Man, I really wish I could find out who's the fucking idiot that suggested that robot idea." And I'm just like,
I remember you said that.
yeah. I was like, "Oh yeah, man, I really wonder who that was." It's like, damn, yeah. It's just, yo, me and Kumar turned to each other and just started laughing. We thought that shit so funny. But you wanted to show us something, EJ. What was that?
Oh, I haven't pulled it up.
Ray got the video.
I'm just gonna play it from where it is, right?
Y'all just doing shit without a boy. It's right.
Bro, who the fuck is you?
It's okay. It's okay.
White guy with tattoos.
It's all right, man. Every group has a Ringo, right?
Well, it was fine. It was an equalizer.
It is Ringo who no one cares about in the Beatles, right?
Fair is fair. If you have a problem with the black hoodie reference, why don't you have a problem with the white bald-headed tattoo reference? We have to be fair. You can't preach and try to provoke equality when you're not willing to provide it yourself. You can't sit there and constantly wear the shroud of victimization, but then act as if it's impossible to be applicable to somebody else just because they're not black. You can't do that. And that's the whole point. Now, granted, we have to be primarily concerned with ourselves as a community, and I do get that. The Jewish community teaches us that better than anybody. They concern themselves with their issues, and if you mess with them, they're going to collectively stand up and handle their business. And I understand that. And we need to do the same as well. But the fact that we repeatedly, on countless occasions, fail to do so, we also contribute to our own victimization. But that's not a subject that we ever talk about. When I bring up the pants or I bring up the tattoos or whatever, it's not that I have a problem with somebody with tattoos. It's that I have a problem with the fact that there are others who are employers who will have a problem with it, and then you say you don't care, but you still got your hand out for their money. Now, if you own your own business, if you are a Jay-Z, a P. Diddy, a LeBron, or somebody else, you get to do that because you are controlling your own stuff. But when you have your hand out and you're asking somebody else to give you an assist, to give you a helping hand, you have to capitulate to some degree. Conformity cannot be taboo because nobody gets to get away with that in this world. If you want something from somebody else, you have to capitulate to some degree to some of their wishes.
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there because I feel like he's saying some nice things, and also for anyone to disagree with him at that point, it's like, look at where they are, bro. Look at where they are. Look at how they're dressed, especially old girl in the beginning. Let me see what she's wearing. Like, look at her. Look at her. I know that's not how she dressed back where she come from. I know that's not how they do their hair back where she come from either.
You guys must be ahead of me. He didn't show anybody.
Oh, I went to the front. I went to the because the lady who brought up the question.
I asked the question. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a black lady with her hair did in a very non-traditional black way. Is what I'm trying to say. And like, you've seen it.
Like, she got weave and stuff. Is that what you saying?
You know, she got her she got her perm, her real straight hair, stuff like that. And so like there he is being like, yeah, like because he's talking about how you can't sit here having all these tattoos and sagging your pants and doing that. Like if you're gonna go apply for a job, you can't just look unpresentable to a certain degree. And I don't have the full context, but it sounds like they're talking about how you shouldn't have to conform like your appearance to do something because like what's your mind and your appearance do not technically match. And like, yo, that is true. But as he said, if you have your own business, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, but EJ, what is the context?
Yeah, go on.
And that pretty much is the context. It's an old video that came on my feed.
What made him start talking about that? Was it just that
Yeah, I mean that's the subject pretty much. Like there was a celebrity, I don't know who it was, but I guess there was an issue about because he covers the NBA a lot, and they had like a dress code back in the day about how NBA players should present themselves, like the clothes that they wear, not having tattoos, not having their hair done in a certain way. But that's the whole point of the conversation is like you made it to this point that you've been working towards your whole life, and now you're gonna squander that opportunity because you want to represent who you are or your roots or where you come from. But it's like, as much as you want to represent that, you have to make compromises. You have to sacrifice certain things because you need something from this person. And that's pretty much the entirety of the video. I mean, he elaborates on that point further, but that's pretty much the whole context. I don't know who he was referring to in particular, but that's the subject of it.
What would you guys say though to respond to the idea that you should have pride and that there are certain things you shouldn't be willing to forego thanks to your pride?
I say that is, how do I say this? Yeah, no, like, I agree. Like you should have some pride. Like you should want to like do certain things and like have those certain traditions like upheld to a certain standard, right? But you have to work hard to be able to do that it's like say like we go to a completely different culture, right? Like for example, I'm gonna say use Japan because it is the most different from, like it's a what is it called, a mono ethnic like country, like 99% of the people in Japan are Japanese, right? So if you just go there and you try to like express yourself in like whatever way you like deem is culturally acceptable for you or whatever, they're gonna look at you sideways because like you're just like sticking out like a sore thumb. They're not gonna want to hire you. They're not gonna do anything. So
you're fucking invader. Yeah.
So like you're going to have to conform to a certain extent so you can like survive there for a bit. And like I'm just like, this is like I said, this is an extreme example. If you want to get to the point where you can like represent yourself like the way you want to, you're going to have to work hard, like gain that trust first, and then once you're like on top, say like they really just don't like dreads in that area. I don't know. This is just an example. Say they really don't like dreads. Once you work your way up to the top, and then you change your hair to get dreads, what they gonna do? You're at the top now, right? Like then they can be like, oh, interesting, and like you can like introduce these topics, but you can't introduce these topics when they're already looking at you like an outsider. Like you got to get inside before you like be like, all right, here, let me bring this to the table, you know? Because like if you're trying to bring something to a table that you're not invited to, people will be like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
And the thing with black people, right, is they just want to bring hood shit everywhere they go. Like that's the problem with them. That's what pisses me off. It's fucking true. It's true. These niggas, it's like everywhere they're like, oh, we got our culture. We got to bring our culture. And their culture always is some hood shit. Like there's nothing to black people but being loud and fucking trying to get attention. Like I don't get it. You know what I mean? They always want to wear baggy clothes and put all sorts of crazy hair in there.
Baggy clothes is popular in many cultures.
Yeah.
Many cultures.
Jesus Christ.
Many cultures.
In poorer culture.
No. It's super popular in a lot of places.
Yeah. No, to be honest, actually, the concept of baggy clothing is more popular depending on your socio-political class. And then what ends up happening is that people of higher socio-political status start trying to mimic the urban wear. And what the urban people were wearing, mainly because a lot of time it's because they literally could not afford certain kinds of clothing, becomes fashion. And that's how it's like a weird cycle. You know what I mean? It's fucking
what
crazy.
I'm trying to say is, these niggas is bugging.
Yeah, it's like I don't get it. It's
all
like
sides. Now I know what you mean. Like like if someone just clipped it, they'd be like, "Damn, this nigga racist. He hates himself." Yeah. Like I know that's what you mean. Because like look, like you mean like that like project shit. That same shit that got Offset like off Like that
That's
shit.
what
It was Takeoff, bro. I gotta get his
was it?
name right, man.
I thought it was Offset. It was Takeoff. Okay, that's my fault. I just knew it wasn't Quavo. I knew it wasn't Quavo.
I guess that's why his name is Takeoff, because
It's that same mentality that holds a lot of people back.
It does.
Yeah.
Like, bro, they were too rich to be.
They don't
want to
let go
they
of
were
shit,
doing, bro. Like, why were they? Like, they were
They
doing
don't
some
wanna let go,
weird
like-
shit, bro.
these fucking, there are basketball players and football players who want to be on the field throwing up gang signs. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
Yeah,
what are you doing?
But play the rest of the clip though.
I don't
He
know.
owns
where I
it.
stopped it, bro.
He owns. Oh, it was like 1:28, I think.
Yeah.
He on it, huh?
Wait, but one more thing. Because like when he mentions the Jews, that's a great point. Because Jews are smart. They keep their shit insular. They keep their shit inside. They talk about things among each other. So basically, what you're describing, they know there's a time and a place. Well, for some reason, black people cannot. They can't get that idea into their head. They want it to be everywhere. It's like, no, just keep your shit on the down low. Operate in silence. But yeah, whatever. You can play it now.
All right.
Who are employers who will have a problem with it, and then you say you don't care, but you still got your hand out for their money. Now, if you own your own business, if you are a Jay-Z, a P. Diddy, a LeBron, or somebody else, you get to do that because you are controlling your own stuff. But when you have your hand out and you're asking somebody else to give you an assist, to give you a helping hand, you have to capitulate to some degree. Conformity cannot be taboo because nobody gets to get away with that in this world. If you want something from somebody else, you have to capitulate to some degree to some of their wishes. I come to work every day. There are times when I am not at work. I got on a sweatsuit, y'all. I got on some Timberland boots or some Nike sneakers or whatever the case may be. I cannot roll up at ESPN that way. They don't have that. You come to work, you have to be professional, you got to be ready to roll. The show starts at 10 o'clock. It don't start at 10:02. It don't start at 10:05. By the way, you got a radio show. You got to do that too. We need you on the road to do sports, and you got to do that too. These are the responsibilities. And oh, by the way, there is this 4-letter brand called ESPN. You don't just represent Stephen A. Smith. You don't just represent the Smith family. You don't just represent the black community. You represent us. And the reason why we matter is because you wouldn't matter to them if you didn't have the platform that you have, Stephen A. I understand that. And I walk to work every day knowing that I have that responsibility on my shoulders. Why can't the rest of us? See, all of these guys that are preaching about being a maverick, being independent, being on your own, doing your own thing, being real, they ain't the ones paying your bills. And if they're not paying your bills, they damn sure ain't gonna pay it if you lose your job. You gotta exercise common sense. And you gotta start thinking about what works instead of what you want. Because we all want stuff, but we don't get to have everything that we want. And the people that are in privileged positions, and I won't say any names, but they know who they are, because a couple of them emailed me last night. You're in your privileged positions. It is earned. You did what you did. More props to you. You're elite. Nothing but love for you. But everybody ain't you. And I'm going to close it by saying this. I said this to a professional athlete who will remain nameless just a few years, several years ago. I said this. He always walked in, dressed the way he wanted to dress, looking the way he wanted to look, talking about being real. And I said, excuse me, when you got drafted, what were you wearing? You had on a suit, had a clean cut fade. You didn't have all of this other stuff. You didn't have tattoos everywhere or anything like that. Why didn't you? You know why? Because you were trying to get paid. It was when you got paid that you talked about being real. But when you were trying to get paid, you were willing to conform. So why then, when you get paid, would you turn around and go tell a nation of kids who haven't gotten there yet, do what you want to do, be real, be what you want to be, ignore status quo? Is that going to help them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of the.
Oh my god. Fucking the part when he said, y'all emailed me. The part killed me. The people that was in my inbox. But
Holy shit! Holy
that's
shit!
a great point. I mean, it's like I'm weird.
I hate when people do that shit. That's why I recommended this video.
I'm weird in that, like,
I hate when people sit in these elite towers where they're above everybody and want to have
towers.
this fucking contradictory message that like you've gotten to this point by living it. No, fuck out of here. You had to make compromises you ain't want to make. You had to sell your soul, but then you want to tell people, oh, don't sell your soul. Don't give in to them. You know,
don't quit your job.
Yeah.
Start
fuck out of here.
Quit
Fuck
your job.
out of here.
Business.
Honestly, yeah, you guys. I don't know why y'all are working for the man. Quit your job. Start your own business.
Plug yourself out.
Don't work 9 to 5. Work 24/7.
All these hypocrites, man, that made it to this point.
Bro. I'm not about your bread.
Look, just plug yourself out of the matrix, bro.
Yeah.
Quit your job.
Getting paid by YouTube. Getting paid by the same people they tell you to hate.
Yeah. TikTok is a scam, bro. They got you believing what you want, what they want you to believe. But yeah, you use that shit all the time, and you post it on there all the time.
You're making videos on the app, responding to other people's
like Ray said, but somehow you escaped the algorithm that nobody else could play by.
Yeah,
that is, man.
It's weird because I'm on both sides of the aisle, right? I'm a guy who I'm very. Oh, sorry, I thought I heard something. Anyway,
he froze.
I'm very. Yeah, that was like a
That's
dog.
The programming right there. He got the message. I was
glitching. They were telling me what to say. Like, oh, you're going off script. But I'm on both sides of the aisle where I'm very like. I guess I live a lot by my own standards, and I mean, I guess you guys can probably confirm that I say things really however I want to say them, and I don't really seem to care that much. But I am careful. Like I don't do that shit all the time.
Clubs, blasting the gas.
Yeah, I don't do that shit all the time. But I am like, it's weird that I really do carry myself however I want to for the most part, but up to a point, you know. It's like there are certain things I'm not gonna do, obviously. Certain things I'm not gonna say. That kind of thing. But at the same time, I do like, I guess I express myself as much as I can in a way that won't jeopardize my employment, you know? Like if the shit I say to you guys, I'm not gonna be sitting there jokey with some of my coworkers. Some of them I will talk like that with if we reach that point. You know, we reach that level.
You gotta get there first.
It's like how EJ, you told me about how one of your coworkers just really be saying whatever the fuck comes across his mind. And you're just like, that shit is dangerous.
Yeah, I can't do that. I represent, you feel me, the company. I represent something bigger than myself. Even though it doesn't matter.
I don't give a fuck about representing the company, to be honest. Fucking company. It's like, I care about representing my paycheck. Like, it's like I'm not trying to lose my job, you know?
But that comes with representing the company. If the company sees you not representing them properly, they're gonna let you go. You're not gonna have that check.
Yeah, no. I remember I was low key the face of this club that I was in. So like there were certain things I was like, yeah, I can't be out here acting a complete fool.
Humble brag. I was low key the face.
See, nah. How about this? I was high key the face of this company, bro. I could walk out. No, so because I was just there for a really long time, and like a lot of the freshmen, when they first go to the program, I'd be the first person they meet. So like through the years of their college, they would just remember me. So bro, I literally would like not be at work, and people would be like, "Hey, you're that guy who works at this place." They would start asking me questions. One person thought I owned the fucking thing. They thought I was the big boss at one point. I was like, no, nigga, I work there. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Like that young, you own the shit?
Yo, I'm telling you, they thought I was the boss. They're like, yeah, you can do whatever you want there, right? I was like, no, I am an employee.
You kind of can, right? You kind of could do whatever you want.
Nah, bro, I was fighting the system. I was punching them. Anyway, that was a different thing. But like, yeah, like I was like, yeah, let me not go out to frat parties, taking my shirt off, and just like start boxing people randomly, you know? Like I was like, let me not do that, because all these fucking people would recognize me, like all the time.
And then it's not just you who gets clipped. the program suffers, and maybe changes have to happen, and people get fired that didn't deserve to be fired.
Also, yeah, no, 100%. Like, if I did something big that ended up in the school newspaper, they would 100% attach my job's name to it because, like I said, like every freshman for like 4 years would have known and seen my name, seen my name. They would have seen my face and known my name. So they'd be like, it'd be like, Ray, this employee at this location went up and started boxing 5 different individuals, one of which was a volunteer at the local puppy shelter. Like, beyond losing my job, the whole university, the university would have been like, yeah, that nigga gotta get fired. You're cutting your budget. These are the kinds of people you hire, bro.
This is your king. This is your king. But
oh my god, it would have been so bad.
I get that. I 100% get that. Yeah, when you got to think about more than just yourself. Yeah, I think about that a lot because like people will like it reminds me of when I guess not. Well, I guess it's kind of related. It reminds me of when a friend of ours, we met that guy who's homeless, and then he starts telling him, oh yeah, you don't really need a home. What is a home but 4 walls? Like you can live out here. And I was like, please ignore this stupid ass.
Why you sending a nice bubble at home, protected from the evils of the world?
That's what I was like, nah.
It was like when this guy's done this conversation, he going home to his nice warm bed, bro.
Exactly. Like, his nice warm bed, and he's gonna get baked in his little.
Why would you mislead that man into thinking that that's not something he needs when you have it, when you rely upon it?
Exactly. And it's not. And it's like the other thing that pissed me off is that he's objectively wrong. Like being homeless can literally kill you. Like homeless people, you know how many homeless people die a year? Just fucking die.
I literally don't know how many homeless people die a year because the statistics are inaccurate.
Yeah, they're inaccurate, but it's a fucking lot.
It's a lot. See, but that's the thing. It's a lot, and those are the ones that we can keep track of. Imagine all the ones we can't keep track of. Because there's all a bunch of roaming homeless people. They go from state to state.
And then there's the fact that even if you don't want to get straight into homelessness, right? If you look at in terms of poverty, just how worse off your health is, the poorer you are.
Indeed.
And the more likely that you will die.
Bro, so like, it's not even like numbers you got to look at. Like, go to a rich part of New York and then go to a poor part of New York. Just look at the people who live there. You can literally see the difference. You can see the difference in their health, bro. Like, it sounds real shit, bro, but let's look at them. They are not healthy.
That was probably my favorite point of the video, like him saying all these people that won in life that made it to these privileged positions, like, shout out to them. Y'all winning in life. Like, amen to y'all. Everybody wants to strive to be that. But we know that most normal individuals living a regular average life, they are not playing by those same rules that you're telling them to play by.
Exactly.
So why spread this misleading message? Why get people? And that's the problem with the world, because people place so much of their values in what a celebrity is doing and how they live in their life, and they want to apply it to us commoners. Us, people that are not in those positions.
Yeah.
Like when you get to that point, live how you want to live. You have the freedom to do it. That's the whole point. But
that brings me to the red pill thing, because it's like, remember I posted that video where I was like, a lot of these conversations in the red pill are necessary conversations that I think should happen. Like men and women should be discussing these things of intersexual dynamics. I think it's good. But the people having the conversations I feel like are not equipped to be having. And I'm saying that on both sides of the aisle. Like you got Sneeko speaking his way out there space cadet nonsense that just I'm just like
Space Ranger, bro.
Some fucking Buzz Lightyear shit.
You out here deceiving people into thinking they don't need to work jobs, that they don't need to,
Then you have on the other end some boss bitch, some boss babe. Like she'd be like a boss babe. And they're both living in these alternate fucking universes. They're not on the same plane of existence as you, right? But then this fucking boss babe, this boss bitch who makes so much money or whatever, right? And is pretty much a socialite. She's pretty much a socialite. She's out here giving women advice. And the advice is not applied to these women. They're going to ruin their lives trying to follow the advice of this woman. Then at the same time, you got guys like Sneeko telling you to do all sorts of goofy shit that might ruin your life.
And he's getting a check for saying all this stuff.
Stuff he's definitely not following himself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he doesn't.
After we ran into that nigga.
Yeah, I just want yes. After we
saw him in the wild, I was like, this nigga not living that truth.
Yeah.
He's not living his truth, bro.
It's so funny. It's so funny you mentioned that because one of the things that gets Coach Greg in a lot of trouble, or a thing that gets him beef, is he'll talk about how, you know, these content creators y'all be worshiping. He's like, I know what they really be doing. Like, he's like, I have the receipts. He's like, I'm just not gonna. Like, I could if I wanted to. He's like, if I was that kind of guy, I could make bad content exposing these motherfuckers, but I don't.
In fact, wait, you don't even like. He doesn't need to expose it. One of them just got exposed.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Go ahead.
What you talking about, Derek Jackson?
Yeah, that nigga got caught cheating again.
Yeah, he got exposed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the one that was coming at. He was coming at Charlamagne, right? The cheating.
I don't know. I have no idea. Charlamagne got beef with everybody, bro. Charlamagne got beef with me. I don't even know him. Like,
Charlamagne does it on purpose, though. It's his part of his.
But it's like all these people that, like you said, they worship these content creators or these internet entertainers that want to make it to this point and then start acting like they got the jewels, the keys
sauce,
to success.
I mean,
yeah, the sauce.
That's what Jared.
They didn't even follow those rules on their own path. Like if they followed their own advice, they probably wouldn't even be where they're at. But somebody was lucky enough to give them, I won't say a handout, but give them a chance to prove their worth or their value. A lot of these rappers, a lot of these even actors, or you know, like there's some pieces of information in there that you could look at and be like, all right, it's truthful. But again, like you take it with a grain of salt because a lot of their success is based on certain circumstances. There was certain events that took place. You know, so you can't apply that to every aspect of someone's life and be like, it has to be in this. You have to follow this path, or else you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna lead somebody down the wrong path, and they're gonna end up expanding that worldview into everything. Like, all right, I gotta be real. I can't conform. Now they're not gonna just do that when it comes to a place of work, but they're gonna do that around the people that they know, like their friends, around everybody. Be real. You know what I'm saying? Don't take shit from nobody. Like, yeah, there's certain like that sentiment is true to a point, to a certain limit. But like Stephen A said, you gotta capitulate. You gotta make these sacrifices at some point. If there's something that you need or a place you're trying to be, or you want something from somebody else, you have to conform.
Yeah, I mean that's a common code of life. You know, you have to sacrifice in order to get something of value.
You want a working relationship, you have to conform.
Yeah,
whether it's a romantic one, whether it's one with your employer, you have to conform.
Live in fucking society in general. You have to conform.
Be real. Don't take shit from no woman. Like, don't let there's certain aspects of that could be true depending on the situation, but you can't blow it up and apply that to everything, and that's the problem.
Yeah, because I mean, that's what those red pill niggas have preached.
Yeah,
I'll never forget when we were out there doing that, talking to women, and some guy was with us. The girl says one thing he didn't like, and this motherfucker starts screaming at her. And I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, bro, chill, relax. And he got mad at us. Nigga was mad. And it was so funny. You know what's so fucking funny, right? This guy will probably go on and on about how women are emotional and men are logical. Here's this motherfucker screaming his head off. He gets a little bit of pushback on what he just did, right? And then he starts screaming at you now, losing his shit. And then he left, fucking stormed off like a fucking bitch. And the women are the emotional ones, right? Women are the emotional ones. And
the people that say that, right? Like the red pill guys, because that was the example that you used. They not helping you get relationships. They not near living right next door to you, and whatever problems that you might endure from
using their advice.
From using their advice and living a life of solitude or loneliness or depression or wanting a relationship, and you're not getting that because they're not helping you, bro. They're not gonna be like you could call them. It's not like you got them on your phone and you could just reach out to these guys. Like they're sitting in their own their own towers, spreading this message all the way down to where you're at. So
Yeah,
it's not like you could really lean upon them. You
a lot
know?
of guys who follow their advices end up getting in, like that guy. Every time I'd see him after that, it looked like he couldn't get into places because he must have been there acting like a fucking fool and got in trouble following that stupid advice.
It almost happened to our boy Ref. Like we started going places and the bouncer was like, "You better be on your best behavior."
Yeah.
Like when their advice doesn't work, they're not gonna be the shoulder to cry on, bro. Like you got to deal with that shit alone.
I mean, a lot of them get exposed too. Like we reveal that they like they'll say something to you like, "Oh, don't bang sixes or fives. Your girl should be a dime." And someone will find a picture of their girl and she's she's beat, like she's ugly. Yeah.
No, stop.
It happens a lot. It happens a lot.
I know, but like, stop, bro.
Like
I remember the tweet. I'm gonna go eat. And
yeah.
Come back and this tweet's stuck.
You still up? I'm gonna show what you sleep next to at night. That's what you said.
Oh,
and he really did the tweet. Damn, like you know that Boondocks episode where it's like, I wonder what he did to make them niggas so angry. Like I just remember my thought is, I wonder how ugly his wife fucking is for him to really delete the tweet. Like that means she must look really bad.
I wonder who they got cucked by to make them that mad.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's what happened in that movie Hitch with Will Smith. Like he found out his girl was cheating on him, and then he became this like womanizer, but wanted to dedicate his entire life to helping people land successful relationships, which was respectable to a degree. Because usually when people become womanizers, their whole ploy is to just sleep with multiple women. It's not really to have he could never allow himself to fall in love. Yeah.
He's scared. Yeah.
Exactly.
That was the whole premise. Yeah, that was a good movie.
Great movie. One of my favorite movies.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's like Jesus Christ.
And people do that too when it comes to gang culture. Like, oh man, stand up for the homie, be real. It's like, bro, you do time, like you go to prison, like they're not gonna be there visiting you. They're not gonna send you any money. They're not gonna sit in that cell with you. Or even if you want to take it to when it comes to affecting your money, like people tell you like, oh, don't comply, like, maintain your integrity, but they not paying your bills, like Stephen A. Smith said. When you live in dead broke in the streets, when you don't got enough money to feed yourself or support your family, they not coming in with a magic check to take away all those problems. Like it'd be cool if you want to give me this advice, but you're also taking care of all this stuff that I have going on in my life, but you're not doing that. You're just talking from a place of superiority or privilege where you can afford to live that life and take care of all the necessary things that you need to do. If you're actually living that way and you're not bullshitting on what you're saying.
Most of the time,
but you probably are bullshitting and you're living complete opposite. And if you're not living the complete opposite, then you were able to do something that not many people were able to do. And that's the whole issue. That's
part of why I like Coach Greg so much. Coach Greg Adams is because he straight up tells you he's like if you want to do his thing is he believes in becoming the free agent. That's what you have to do. And he's like, in order to be the free agent, he's like, you're gonna have to eat plates of hot shit for a while. This is what he said. He's like, you're gonna have to do a lot of sacrificing. You have to live on some ramen noodles for a brief while. This is what he said. And not even brief. He said he did that shit for like 5 years. He said he was freaking struggling. Not even struggling. He was doing it by choice. But he was like, he was making some hard sacrifices for years before he could reach the place where he is now, where he can do things he can't do, or things you can't do. And he's like, I'm in another echelon now because of all those sacrifices I made. Pretty much like he said, the things he had to let go. Like he would 100% agree with Stephen A. Smith. It's like, he's not going to walk out there trying to represent himself if he's trying to get the check, In the moment where he needs to get the check, he's going to keep his mouth shut and do what he has to do.
You collected a nice check. Like, you sitting comfortably, collected a nice check. And I remember there was a celebrity, I think it was a basketball player maybe that said this. I can't remember who it was, but I remember resonating with the message because so many times we look for like inspiration or like the people we admire. It's never within our close proximity. It's never like usually a family member or friend. Some people look more outwardly to a celebrity for that because they represent like this fantasy lifestyle that they want to live. You know, the American dream, or even grander than that. Like you're living well beyond anybody else's. So I remember he was saying that like I'm not somebody to admire, I'm not a hero, like I'm just somebody that was able to make the most of my talent. Like don't put me on a pedestal, don't elevate me to this position because like
Especially
I'm not
now.
worthy of that. Even if you are somebody that's well acclaimed, even if you have numerous accolades, even if you became the superstar that the world was able to see for a long period of time, it still doesn't mean that you need to be you could be respected for your craft and what you did,
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean that you have to be idolized in this different way that takes you out of this human element, like that makes you otherworldly. You could be otherworldly in your like I said, in your craft, in your field, in
yeah,
your career, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, you were able to make the most of an ability that you had, whether it
yeah.
was God given, whether you refined the ability over time and made the most of it. At the end of the day, you are just somebody like someone else, and it's kind of hard for people to believe that when they're not shit or they never did what they never made the most of their own potential. So when they see somebody else do it, they're like, damn, he must be special, or he must be, and he could be special for having a certain skill, but it
It's
doesn't
not,
really, yeah.
but it's really that he put in the work. It's really.
It's the work, yeah, it's the work.
But
Like
it's like,
don't get that twisted, don't get that mistaken.
yeah, that's why, like, even though there are people I do admire, right? There are people like one, Coach Greg is one of them, but like Eric July is probably the guy who I actually really, really admire because, like, he's doing a lot of things that I wanted to do, right? That I want to do. So looking at him doing it, I'm like, okay, it's a because like it's in the field of comic books. I'm not gonna lie, it becomes very disheartening to think that you can ever get into the field unless you go in through certain channels, right?
Yeah.
And it's just sad because I did not want to go into those channels. Like independent is very hard. I was like, I don't want to work for these people, right? But then seeing that him do it in a very organic way, the way he did it, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go for it. And before him, there were other people who made me think the same thing. Like this guy named Ethan Van Sciver is another one. And like when you look at the 80s, it used to happen a lot, but in modern times, independents they practically don't exist. Like no one gives a fuck about independent comics anymore. The independent companies are just other multinational companies now. But yeah, it's like the thing is though, like it's like you'll sometimes you'll find advice for creatives. This just came into my mind because what Stephen A. Smith was talking about, and it'll be really stupid advice telling you to do shit like, oh, don't write unless the passion is there, and oh, don't do it unless you feel it's dumb. It's like
It's funny. I've
writing.
heard the opposite actually. They're like, "Oh, you don't feel like writing? Write anyway."
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's the thing. People nowadays, people are talking more about that kind of stuff because you'll hear people say that, oh, being creative, it comes from inside. It's a thing. Creativity is a spark within you, and all this kind of
I
nonsense.
think an author said that, Charles Bukowski. He was like, if you have to try, then don't do it. Like
Yeah,
it's
people will
something
say
like
a
that.
lot of shit like
Yeah,
that. But it's actually no. Writing is a job just like everything
yeah.
else, and you have to apply like a workmanship to it. Because if you go in there on some, I'm gonna be a creative, airy guy, and I'm gonna be lackadaisical. I'm gonna be what's the word I'm looking for? Eccentric. I'm gonna be eccentric. You're not gonna do shit unless you get really lucky. If
Yeah.
you get really lucky, you can be as eccentric as you fucking want, and people will keep making leeway for you, which happens a lot.
Because they put them on a, you got to think because it goes into the admiration that they have for the person. Because you elevated somebody to the point that they're on another plane of existence, so is their advice that they're giving to them.
Yeah.
If the same person, like their mother, their father, a friend gave them that advice,
Then
but their success doesn't match up to that person's success, then it kind of it falls on deaf ears.
yeah.
It doesn't sound the same. It doesn't resonate the same.
Sneaker
But
obsessive.
because they're a creative
Mhm.
that amassed this amount of this amount of success,
Yes,
it hits different when they say it. It hits different.
Sneagle said something stupid like that in a conversation he had with Destiny, where it was something like, "Oh yeah, my family, they're losers," or something like that. He said because they didn't do what he did, and it's like, I was like, they're in the Matrix or some garbage like that. And I was like, but they gave you the life you're living. I was like, apparently them living in the Matrix is what allowed you to survive and to exist. I was like, if they weren't living in the Matrix, maybe your ass would have never been born. You would have been sitting there starving in the projects.
It's like, mom, like, you don't know what you talk about, mom, but then your idol say it's like, damn, I'm not gonna lie, he got a point. Like, what?
Yeah, like the classic. I was looking at this fucking.
He preaching, like, yeah.
Like, looking at this meme, right? It's a guy sitting on his bed playing video games, and his father's like, maybe you shouldn't sit on your bed playing video games all day. Maybe you should go outside. And the guy's like, shut up, dad. And then later you see, it's like 10 years later, there's a video on the screen, and the guy's like, stop playing video games so much. Go outside. And he's like, wow. You know?
Yeah, like, that's sound advice. This guy, why didn't you tell me that? Like, what?
Yeah. Well, hey, I guess we could get into the final. This hypothetical you posted, I thought was pretty.
You want to do? You want to do the hypothetical?
Yeah, it reminded me of something that happened before.
Really? All right.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So the hypothetical for today's episode is: if a girl you thought was gorgeous was super, if a girl you thought was gorgeous was super into you, but was really disrespectful to a close friend of yours, would you still want to date her? Yes or no?
I want to say no, but I'm gonna have to let you know that we're gonna have to have this conversation beforehand. See, because if it's one time, like breaking up with her after one time, that's crazy, right?
And you gotta ask him, man. It's like, how disrespectful were you
about
that,
bro?
Like,
I don't gotta ask him because I was like, look, if I thought it was disrespectful, I'm not fucking with it. I'm gonna have to be like, well, I don't know what that was.
What is the level of disrespect that would be enough to make you just like
let's say before, like, let's say y'all both was into her, right? I'm just gonna add another hypothetical into it. Like, let's say y'all was both.
The first one first, like.
No, but you'll be able to answer both. Watch. So, let's say y'all was both into her, right? But like, that girl found your man's to be repulsive and happened to like you, but like she didn't let him down politely, you know, like, and let's say his approach was respectable. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just not some disrespectful, but like, hey, can I take you out on a date? And she just straight, embarrassed him in front of everybody, in front of you, in front of, I don't know. And then she liked you, and she would be willing to date you, but you just had seen the way she treated somebody that you.
See, if it's like that, if it's like I don't even know them, and like they were yeah, nah, that's a no for me, dog.
Well, so it's like we're not dating. It's would you date that woman?
Yeah, because if it's like that, nah. Like, because now it's like I don't even know you, but I see how you treat other people. You know.
Yeah.
Like
that you don't like.
Yeah, you did say she did something wild and crazy. Yeah, you're gonna lose a little bit of action for her.
Yeah.
And you lose your friend because he probably won't fuck with you again.
Yeah. Maybe. No, I'm saying like in the situation where like let's say we both liked her, or let's say not even use her, my friend's example. Let's even remove the friend part. I really liked her, thought she was so cute. Then I don't know, maybe I see her one day just bullying the shit out of some other girl, like going wild, ham. I would lose my attraction. I'd be like, damn, she a bitch. I'd be like, what the fuck?
Like, could be wouldn't let that shit happen to me though, and still do your thing.
But let's say she was let's say she was just being crazy disrespectful on some like, oh, go home and kill yourself shit. I'm like, whoa.
So what's the part of the question that makes you think twice about it though? Because I feel like there's an element in there.
I thought I was already dating them.
No.
Like the first part, I thought I was already dating them.
Where we're already dating them.
Yeah. So if I was already dating them and I see them being disrespectful to my boy, I'd have to be like, yo, like we'd have to have that conversation.
Wait, with the friend or with her?
No, with her. Fuck, what the fuck the friend do? The fuck he do?
You can probably talk to your friend about it, like in terms.
Yeah, like do you want me to break up with her, bro? Like,
what's the go-to, bro? What's the advice, bro?
No, I definitely would have to have a conversation with the girlfriend at that point to be like, yo, what the fuck was that? Like, what's going on? I'd have to figure this out because I was like, yo, that's not how you treat people. And the only reason like you even get that conversation is because we are already dating. So I probably saw something in that person, or like so it was that must have been like out of pocket. Like that must have not have shown itself before. You know, and that's why like you talk about it. You're like, and you know if it like consistently keeps happening, like, you got several ties, bro. You just cut that shit off.
Yeah, I would agree with Ray. Like past me, current me, yeah, 100%. I would not like the moment I'd be like, bitch, you're gonna have to. They can't happen again.
If you even if you thought she was fire, like Jessica Alba.
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend. You know, it depends on how attractive she is.
This man's girl disrespected.
But that's the whole.
AJ. This man's girl disrespected the fuck out of me in this fucking what was it, a Taco Bell?
Wait, but here's a Well, no, we were in a Wendy's, and she went. She
wasn't no Jessica Alba. Go ahead.
I thought she was hot, and other people thought she was hot, but she went off on him. And went off on him and the guy.
This man, she called me a fucking gorilla.
Yeah, she
was like, you don't deserve no love. She was like, you're so fucking ugly. You'd be lucky if a woman even looked at you. She was saying some wild shit to me. And I'm saying,
here's the context though. She was also very fucking drunk. That was a part of it.
Man, girl had a fucking sip of some soju.
That goopy bitch could not hold her liquor, man. She could not hold liquor.
All I'm saying is, these were her sober thoughts, bro.
One time I was with that bitch drinking soju and she lost her shit. And
we weren't drinking soju. No, we weren't drinking
soju. No, we weren't. But one time we were drinking soju and she lost her shit and started throwing up. And I felt like I was like, and it was like that was gross. But yeah, I did talk to her about it after the fact. And that's why I was like, it was funny because it reminded me when you posed hypothetical, I laughed immediately as I saw it because it reminded me of something.
Yeah, it reminded you of the time you sold your man's out. It reminded you.
I'm standing there getting disrespected. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
What you wanted him to do though, right? Like you wanted him to have a conversation.
I don't know what, because I was.
There was nothing that could be done. She was losing her shit.
What did you want me to do? She was going off, bro, and then she turned
to differently though.
She turned to my boy at the time. And she started going off on him. I was like, no, you gotta chill. I was like, you gotta chill. I was like, we're not doing this.
I think she went off. It was when she went off on you that she left.
No, when she went off on Jason is when I left. I was like, chill.
Did
I was like,
you look?
Come on, guy. Like then we pieced out.
Did you look at mans differently after that though?
I was telling him.
Did you take it personal?
I told him to go deal with that. I said, go deal with that.
Yeah, I was talking to him.
And if he didn't deal with that,
no, because I was at the time it was happening. I was like, guys. I was like, I'm sorry, guys. Like I was saying sorry to her. She was losing her shit, and like everyone is like looking around, laughing. She was
crazy.
Fucked, huh?
She was going crazy, bro.
Yeah, she was fucked, man. Like I had to fucking try and escort her out. I'm trying to like, and everyone's like looking at us, and I'm like, God, it was very embarrassing. Very embarrassing.
She was a down too.
And then there was some white knight guy who tried to.
Oh, that was later. So basically. Ray, I did let her have it. I did let her have it after they had left. So I didn't want to do it I didn't want to do it in front of you guys. So I didn't want to
even worse.
Screaming at my girlfriend in front of them. Because I did do that once. So remember Ray with my sister when she fucking did that thing with the pizza and I lost it and I started screaming at her and like cursing at her in front of you. And Ray was like, yo, chill. He's like, chill.
Yeah, you got involved, bro. That's family business, bro. You gotta let the man
out. She was like a kid, and he was going off. I was like, yeah, relax.
It really pissed me off.
We were like in public. I was like, yo, chill.
Yeah, it really pissed me off. I got mad. But anyways, later I took her outside, and like I'm like, yo, like what the fuck was that? Like what is wrong with you? Like you need to get yourself fucking together. Like and then like she snatches my phone or some shit. She starts trying to take my phone. I'm like, bitch, give me my phone. So give me my phone. Then some guy walks up. This fucking dickhead, man. To this day, this guy gets my blood hot. He walks up, sees me asking for my phone. I'm like, give me back my phone. Trying to get my phone. He's like, excuse me, miss. Are you okay? I turn back to him like, dude, she just had a little bit to drink. It's okay. I'm handling it. He's like, miss, are you okay? I turned around. I was like, who the fuck are you? I was like, yo, bro. I was like, she's my fucking girlfriend, bro. I was like, look, I'm handling it. Get the fuck out of here. And then when I lost my shit, suddenly she sobered up and started trying to calm me down. She's like, like, baby, relax.
This man trying to be a hero, bro. Heroes
I got
get
so
hurt.
good, man. I was about to fuck him up because I was already angry.
Yeah.
And then he kills.
It's like I can see the situation. I wasn't there, but I was like, it's like when you're holding back, and then this person is like, "Oh, I don't gotta hold back against you. I don't gotta hold back against you."
Man's trying to play cop out here.
Get the fuck out of here. Like like if you looked at from the outside, and it was very obvious that we were just two people dating. Like, cause I'm not stupid. I've seen things like that in real life. Like I remember one time walking around 42nd, this conversation was crazy. See some guy arguing with his girl and like saying, "Oh, he wants to break up with her," and she's like, "Why? Why?" He's like, "You was on camera with," I think he said like, he was like, "4 of those niggas, bitch." It's like 4 niggas. Yeah, and I was like, oh. And he was losing it. He was screaming at her to get the fuck out of his face, to leave him alone. And she's like crying. What if I wanted to play hero now? Be like, "Are you okay, miss?" Just, if nigga fucked me up, I can't
I remember my uncle did that at a family get together. I think I told you the story. It was a family get together in the park, and God tried to, because on my mom's side of the family, they always be arguing and acting up, and so we out in public, and this is outside in the park where there's multiple families getting together. Like they're sitting at different tables, so they're overhearing. Like they're making noise to the point where other people go over here, and somebody got up. Went to our area. They didn't even know us. It was just like, "Yo, can y'all quiet down over there?" Bro, Uncle said, "Yo, go over there. Yo, get the fuck back before you get hurt, bro. Get the fuck out of here before you get hurt." God just left. God just left. Like, yo, my uncle ain't even have to raise his voice. He's like, "Yo, just get the fuck up out of here, bro, before you get hurt."
He was like, "Understandable. Have a nice day."
Yeah.
Yeah,
like it's none of your business, bro. Like it's none of your business. Like what are you doing?
He did that night is every time women would walk past, she would keep pointing at random women saying, "That woman's hot. I want to have that woman. We should have that one." She was doing that, and I'm just like, and I'm looking at the girls. I'm like, "Yo, she's drunk." I was like, "Please." Yeah. He's like, "She's drunk. She's a little drunk," and the girls would just laugh it off. They thought it was funny. That was a really annoying.
Yeah, she was a dom though, right?
Not according to Ray. According to Ray, she's the most ugly bitch on the planet.
To you, she was a dom?
The most ugly bitch. She just wasn't that cute, bro. She was not that cute, bro.
Everyone else in existence.
And her makeup was bad. Bro.
The greatest woman in Colloquium existed.
Oh my God. Everyone else thought she was hot.
The people who thought she was hot were losers.
And the most annoying part about that thing is that everyone thinks she was hot. One of the guys that she disrespected, right? After he stopped liking her and started getting mad at her, he would try and like agree with Ray that she's ugly. She's not even, she's kind of chopped, right?
That guy.
He was one of the guys who was trying to get with her before I did it.
Like I have never said she was ugly. I don't think she was ugly. I just don't think she was that cute. But he was going a little far. For someone who was trying to get it in,
trying to get with her. And I remember another reason why I found this funny, is because she didn't disrespect. She didn't disrespect. I guess she has, to be honest, but she disrespected him once in that she was telling me about something goofy he did, and just like what he did, she would tell me about the goofy stuff he tried to try and get her, I guess, to like him. And I guess it was my man's, so hearing it made me cringe. It made me feel bad that she was, if it was some random guy, it's different. But then hearing that it was from him and her so much how corny and stupid it was, I was like, oh no.
I wonder if you didn't handle that, if we're able to cut you off. Like if you didn't go deal with that. You're just like, I
don't think I saw her again after that TBA.
Yeah, I just kept them apart from each other.
Yeah, I was like, I was not gonna go. I wasn't going anywhere that she was going to go. And honestly, this nigga didn't. It's not like he was like bringing her everywhere. I don't even know why she was there that day.
Did he have a conversation with you like, "Yo, bro, I'm gonna go handle that, bro. She did too much. Like, don't worry, I got it. I'm gonna go handle it."
Kind of talked about it really. In chat, I was like, "Oh, I'll handle this. I'm sorry, guys." It's something like that. But
all right.
One of the reasons she didn't like Ray is because in her mind, she thought he was disrespecting me. But we were basically just our normal ribbing. She didn't like that. she thought he was disrespectful, and I was like, well, that's just how we interact.
Man,
I was like, it's just what we
you were way
do.
more disrespectful than I ever was to you.
Yeah.
I think in that moment, I probably was being nicer than usual because she was around, but it wasn't like I was doing that because I'm trying to. It's like, when you're with your girlfriend, you're now less of your,
What did I even say about? I don't even remember saying
nothing.
anything
It's
crazy.
normal. First of all, I told her, if you think those jokes are bad,
Bro, like
the jokes
I can't even remember. I don't even think I said anything
you were
bad,
being
bro.
more chill. Yes, you were being more chill than usual because you were in company.
I'm not going to just fucking disrespect your girlfriend.
Yeah, so even us being normal, and then she didn't like it, and then from that day forward, she thought Ray was an asshole, and she didn't.
I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be tough if she don't fire though. I'm gonna be like, yo, like,
That's
would you really hurt my guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, would you be tight if I go?
I literally stood there and didn't say anything until she went after the other guy.
Like, you wasn't that hurt. Like, she violated Ray, but you wasn't like in your feelings.
Part of why he didn't say anything, because it was you're probably a little flabbergasted. It's a crazy situation.
Nah, bro, she was doing that the whole night.
Yeah.
Like that was just like, bro, literally we were walking around. She kept saying it, and then we landed in the Wendy's, and then she went off. And I was just like, I didn't say nothing that entire time, bro. Because I was like, I don't give a fuck about this bitch. It's not my problem.
Yeah, you're not there, bro.
Literally, it wasn't until she started like clowning the other guy that I was like, all right, yeah, we gotta leave, we gotta chill. I was like, because honestly, in my mind, I was like, this man can't handle this.
What would have happened? What would have happened if you didn't leave the Wendy's though? Like, what would have happened?
I would have had to escort her out myself. I would have to be the one to escort her out.
Yeah, no, I think it was the time of night where she was going crazy.
She started spazzing. She started going nuts. Like, she was gone. I had to get her ass home. I had to take her ass home. That was the annoying part.
She lives on the other side of the universe comparatively.
Yeah. So
I'm not expecting my mans to be like, dead her for me. Like, you there, like you gotta deal with that, bro. Like,
there's another funny story, but this was on Ray's end, where a similar situation. We're at a call, right? And I said something about human ovens, right? And the joke wasn't even what the chick thought it was about. She thought I was making jokes about. She thought I was making Nazi jokes, and I wasn't. I was making jokes in relation to some guy who got basically he was like a cannibal, right? Like, not a real cannibal, but like a fantasy cannibal. He got sexually aroused by the thought of eating people for some reason, and like his wife found his shit on their computer and like reported him. And then he he went to jail. He went to fucking jail, even though he didn't do anything. But the fact that he had like these detailed
plans,
Black Mirror episode, actually. They were stories, right? Huh?
Sounds like the Black Mirror episode.
I know. So he goes to jail or whatever, and he gets out of jail and he loses his family and all that. But one of the things I found so funny about the story is he part of it is like he's like, oh, I'm gonna get a human-sized oven. I was like, do they think this nigga's Wile E. Coyote or he's just gonna get a human-sized oven? I was like, he'd have to go to there is no such thing as a human-sized oven, first of all. I was like, I mean, you have in the morgue the thing where the incinerator, but that's not an oven, that's an incinerator,
Yeah.
So for him to get a human-sized oven, it's like, what the fuck? So I just found that part funny, that he got arrested because he wrote something about a human-sized oven. Not just making jokes about getting a human-sized oven, just being playful. And I know at this point in my life, I was probably a little more edgy than I am now. So I was being very edgy. And like, she didn't like it. And then she kept trying to roast me the whole night. But part of why it wasn't that, one, her roasts were very weak sauce. That was the first part. So it didn't, there was no real, there was no wounding. And I remember it's funny because at one point during the conversation, I was like being silent. And I wasn't being silent because of like anything she'd said. I was reading something. So I'm reading something and I'm not talking. And she's like, oh, you're being kind of silent, Gio. Are you okay? Like, she's trying to see it, trying to gauge if her joke wounded me. And I remember Ray himself was just like, nah, it had nothing to do with you. It's all right. We make jokes way worse.
You just added fuel to the fire on that one.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a situation where it's like Ray, because I remember Ray was, I think, trying to at one point I think you were like, what are you doing? He's like, what's going on? He's like, what are you doing? But that was funny because I know in that moment when the girl was going off on Ray, there were probably some things going through your head that you probably wanted to say, but because it's my girlfriend, you're keeping it
Oh
in.
yeah,
You're
I was like, I'm not gonna just roast the fuck out of this, bro.
That's what I was.
I could.
That's what I was scared of. That's the thing that I was most scared of. I was like, yo, please, I love this guy.
I could
What am I
have.
gonna do?
But I was like, nah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Raider MVP, man.
Going off.
Couldn't be me, man.
Because the thing is, let's say the other guy went off, right? Now I'm in a conundrum, right? Like with her, she's a girl. There's nothing I can do, right? Now you're roasting my girlfriend. It's like, what do I do? Now must I?
It's your man's, bro. You let him piece her up. What you mean? It's your man's, bro. You piece her up, bro. Like
imagine
she talking crazy.
You hit the tag team. He's like, in fact, you know what? He's not wrong. He's
Oh my
God. Y'all both equally mean something to me in my life, bro.
Like, EJ, what about you? Okay, so your girl was being disrespectful to your man, right? And then your man starts violating. Like
I'll be laughing my ass off, bro.
What do you do?
I'll be laughing my ass off. What you
gonna
believe
that? Okay, what?
I'll be laughing my ass off, bro.
Of like 2 years, you gonna laugh?
Nah, because if you dishing it, you got to be able to take it, bro.
That's
my attitude towards life.
Bro. EJ, you're lying.
Bro, I'm sorry. I don't see that happening,
bro.
Okay, a girl of like 2-3 years.
That's some weak shit. Nah, that's some weak shit, bro.
You're right or die. You're not gonna say anything.
Nah.
You're not gonna at least try to.
Why does that matter, bro? If she about ride or die, she gonna be able to take it. That's how I see it. If you gonna break up with me over some petty shit like that, you was in my ride or die, bro. Ride or die, you gonna be able to ride or die. You know what I'm saying?
This man.
That's not no ride or die attitude,
You know,
bro.
EJ, you know how you said you like black women?
I mean, I like all women, man. From all walks of life.
They're not covering for you. No black woman would ever be able to fucking accept that.
Nah, see, there's limits to that though. Like if he say something that's if he say something that's out of pocket, nah, you ain't say that.
Nah, he said violated.
What's violating though? What's violating?
Like
if my girl, let's say my girl, like she weigh a lot, like you say something about her weight. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
As a New York nigga, you know what violation is, bro.
Nah, that's violating. That's violating. That's violating. What you mean?
No. If someone was like, "Yo, bro, you violated," you know you went too far.
Yes.
You know you went too far.
Like,
no one's like, how you violate? No. They're like,
like EJ, imagine she's like, oh, like with your yee ass haircut to him and like all that stuff, and he's just like, bitch, that's why you fat as fuck. You gonna die anyway. Like you'd be like, damn.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I might have to hook off with my mans for that, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I might have to hook off with my mans for that. Like, why are you talking? Nah, the weight shit. Nah, you doing too much. You doing too much. Yes. 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 Right? Yes. But I'm thinking like he made a joke about her smile, like she had a crooked smile.
Like he starts going crazy. Like I'm like he starts roasting with
I'm about to have to pull him aside, like, yo, bro, yo.
He's like saying,
yo, cut that, like, Ray said, cut that shit out, bro.
Like, he mentions that shit too. Ooh,
yeah, nah, I'm hooking off, bro.
Okay, what if like his jokes aren't that bad, but he starts calling her like bitch and shit? He's like, bitch.
Yeah, nah, he get packed up, bro. We fight. If this is in the Wendy's, bro, they're gonna have to break us up because I'm going crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That is
it's like you insulting me as a man now. Like I'm just not gonna let you. Like yeah, you my man, but you don't get that. You don't get that type of pass. Nah, nobody gets that. Nobody gets that type of pass though. Nobody can just.
Like if it's like some lighthearted like.
Yeah, if it's. I'm thinking it's quick jabs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like he said something about her. Like she got a goofy smile. Or he said something about her forehead. Like that's goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna get too mad about that. But you talking about something sensitive like her weight. You know what I'm saying? But in all fairness, she could be sensitive about every little thing. But I'm the type of person I am. If we're gonna be able to be together, you're gonna have to be able to take that.
But like you said, there are limits.
There are limits. But there are certain things you're not gonna be overly sensitive about. Like when you're around me, like I'm gonna crack jokes. Especially if you don't want cracking jokes or talking crazy to my mans, bro.
You open the channel.
Yeah, like you open that up, like you know what I'm saying.
But another funny thing. There was a girl I dated that one of my friends, not one of my friends, a guy who thought he was my friend, but I didn't even like him that much. But basically, we associated with each other very often at work. And there was a girl he liked, and she liked me, and we started, we reached a point where we were now doing stuff together, right? And he didn't know it yet. but like there were a few moments where she did violate him. Well, to me, actually, there were moments she would violate him to me. But I remember there was a time when she called him like little bro or some shit. It's like, oh, you're the little bro or something, and like I think she kind of fake punched him, and that was the moment he realized that she did not like him. And there's just so many funny things. And so that was a moment where I sold out the homie.
Yeah,
Girl.
Couldn't be me, man.
But he wasn't really my homie. Is the thing. That was the point. He wasn't. He was never a friend. Like, he was kind of annoying.
That's different then. But like if it's established, yeah, I've been through, you know what I'm saying, Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3, real moments, you know what I'm saying, ups and downs in life, sandbox. Y'all went to each other's house, y'all played games, you smelled each other's hands. Like, nah, it's crazy.
Wait, what?
That was a lot. I was thinking of page up the Vince Vaughn shit. When he said that, he's like, man, you used to be my best friend, man. We smelled each other's hands, we played tag. Like, what?
You're like, wait, what? What you just said? What do you mean? The part where we play tag? No, the other part. What part? What are you talking about? We went to each other's houses? But I remember the most I've ever done. I've never, like with Ray, I remember there was a situation we were on the line, and this girl was just being real goofy. And all I did was turn to Ray and just told him to stop arguing with her. I was like,
for me, that would never happen because, like, I would never, like, even if I'm cool with you, like, you the day one homie, and like you get with a girl, I'm not gonna try to form any kind of bond with her. Like, I'll be cool, I'll be cordial, I'm not gonna be bitter, and I'm never gonna be. You never gonna see me try to get in super tight with her. Like, I'm never gonna be like, oh yeah, she the bro. Like,
all the time there was like she was just being like mad combative. Like you would say something, and she would like say something like the opposite, just to say the opposite of what you just said. And I remember I turned to you on the line. I was like, yeah, you're not getting through to her, bro. I was like, he's like, there's really no point. And I remember you just looked at me and you just nodded. You're like, yeah, there's nothing there. I think it was something like that you said.
I probably did say some shit. I was like, yeah, there's nothing there. That sounds like
that because that's the issue, right? Like the minute y'all break up, like we is never talking again. We is never speaking. I don't know you. You pass me on the street, I'm looking the other way.
Fucking Opie and Anthony.
So it's like, why the fuck am I gonna try to cultivate some kind of friendship with you? Like, in the course of your relationship, we could be cool and cordial, and I'll see you whenever like my mans come around. But I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, you want to hang? Like, no.
Let me tell you something funny. Opie and Anthony, right? This is So when I forgot which one it was, but when one of their wives fucking divorced him, his wife kept hanging out with the other man's wife who divorced him, and he didn't like it and he thought it was weird, but they kept hanging out, and then later I think the same bitch had divorced him too, and then he was like in hindsight, that's when I should have known that it was over, when she was still hanging out, because he was like, I think she knew that she knew that the guy's wife was gonna leave his friend, and she hadn't said anything, and he just thought that was like shitty, and like he was like, I should have known then that that relationship wouldn't last. And
yeah, that's weirdo timing, bro. I'm never going to try to get cool with my homie's ex. Yeah. And even when they together, like I said, it's going to be sparingly. Like whenever y'all together, and I don't even like to be in that situation. I don't even like to be a third wheel at all. So like it got to be a reason for me to come out, like, and you with your girl. Like it really has to be something that I'm like, yeah, I'm interested in hanging out. Like I'm not trying to be around.
It's funny you mentioned that though, because one of our bros, when his girl broke up with him, I forgot why I did this. I don't remember. I think he had like tasked me with this mission. This is something funny, where I think I was supposed to find out information. So I befriended her. I befriended this bitch, and she started confiding in me, but it was all for him. Yeah. Like it was like she thought that she was telling me stuff that I was not telling him, and she thought I was now her bro, right? And I was like, no, bitch, this is all for the homie. Like it's like this is the only reason I'm doing it. And when she found out, she got very mad. She got very pissed.
It's only weird territory to, like, yeah. I guess you'd be harder to make that decision when, let's say, like you knew the girl from like your past life, Like, not even saying you did anything with her, but
From
you passed
Japan.
like let's say when I say past life, I mean like more so before you met your homie. Like, let's say you knew her, you was cool with her, like y'all wasn't best friends, but you thought she was cool. You never did anything with her, but you thought she was cool. And let's say I don't know, let's say I went to school together briefly, and then she gets with your man's. It's kind of like I don't know, like
I mean, but even
it depends on how you value that. Like if you looked at her as like a friend and like you actually valued that friendship and like y'all actually hung out, did shit together, and then like she got with your man's and then y'all hang out together as a group, then it could be kind of like weird territory to be in. And you might have to defend it like, yeah, but we was cool before you got with her, bro.
It depends on what she did though. What she did, where you don't know if you can reconcile if she did something crazy,
Nah, but it depends because sometimes people be valuing that for like they really value that person, regardless of her being a woman or not. Like they actually thought that was the homie at one point.
Yeah,
or still do. So
I remember I knew a guy who he his best friend before they were best friends fucked a girl he was dating, and they became friends after.
Yeah, nah.
After he
Yeah, nah. You slipping up. You slipping up on that one, Chief.
The part that just didn't make any sense to me, right? So, wait, did this happen to him twice? I think this happened. The same guy did this to him twice. I think so.
Not your friend,
yeah.
Bro.
But the thing, no, but this was like before they were friends. He had fucked like I think two different girls that this guy dated before, some shit like that. But the part of the story that made no sense to me, that I thought was very bizarre, right, is that he now is best friends with this guy and has this guy around his new girl, like hanging out with her, and I'm like. I was like, because it would be one thing.
Yourself up for failure.
The guy is a serial cheat. The guy fucks other men's girlfriends. This is something he did. He was still doing it at the time.
That's some quagmire shit.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't understand why you have him around your girl. And then later, after I even stopped hanging out with these people, someone else I knew was telling me about how one time the guy did two very bizarre things. The first thing this guy did is one time he said something to one of them where he talked about how when he sees his friend and the girl the girl that he's dating, he gets like kind of angry, like he feels like he wishes like he could have that. And I was like, damn, that nigga's not your friend. I was like, in my head, I was like, you need to stop hanging out.
You literally plotting on me, like you going for what's mine. Like you literally holding a knife behind your back. Or even at this point, it's not even behind your back. You literally have the shit out. And
right
then and then you're literally stabbing me and I'm doing nothing but letting you because of like some prior connection I had with you. Like what?
And then one time, right? I was told a story about how the guy apparently was giving some girl, I don't know if it was a friend he was giving her a ride. I think he had she came out of his got into his car or something. And the guy was supposed to be meeting him and he sees him, right? He sees the girl. First of all, to show you how weird this motherfucker was plotting on him and was a weirdo. Basically, he was supposed to meet him, right? And for some reason, he drove up without telling him and was kind of right near his house, and then he saw him come out of the house with some girl and then bring the girl into his car and then start driving away. And then the guy followed him to see what was going on, trying to collect information on his supposed friend. I was like, damn, that is weird.
If you're doing all that and you can't even confront the man about it, it already went down the drain.
Because
you got to do all that.
Is I've been if it was me, right? Let's say I'm supposed to meet Ray somewhere. And I notice he brings some chick out of his house and he's in a relationship and I see the girl is clearly not his girlfriend. I'm like, yo, Ray, you fucked that girl? Like, what's going on there? I at least ask him about it, like you said.
Yeah.
You're not even confronting the man, bro.
I'm not gonna go to his girl and yo, he cheating on you. Because, I'd have a conversation like, yo, bro, what's going on? What you doing?
What if he tell you, fuck is that any of your business, man?
That's not my business.
fuck is you asking them type of questions?
My first thought would be that he's actually cheating on her.
Yo, as soon as I hear fuck is that any of your business,
concerned about?
That is not, that nigga's cheating.
I'm like, damn, he's cheating on her.
I'll be like, you're right, bro. You're right. Like, damn, bro. Yeah. I think it was like that.
Yeah. I think we already asked that question. Would you ever expose your homie for cheating? I think we already talked about that.
But I think I just want to say this last point before we cap off this episode. So like the whole thing with your man's right, like, and if he was tight with that girl that he messing with, like, yeah, let's say she the homie, like, let's say you put it in.
If she's
like,
the homie, that's different.
You might like let's say they both the homie. You know what I'm saying? Like they both.
I was friends with both of them, and then they got together.
Yeah, like you can't pick a side on that. You got to play neutral. It's like you got to look at it from one homie to another. Like when you cool, like let's say
that actually happened once.
That's what I'm saying. Like you just let bygones be bygones. Like you don't talk about the person.
Okay, what happened? Explain.
I told you this before. Before they even got together, I was like, "Yo, don't do this.
I'm staying out of it, bro."
Nah, I saw the signs. I was like, yo, because I knew it wasn't gonna go right. I knew it wasn't gonna go right from the beginning. I was like, yo. I was telling the girls, like, yo, he's not the one. You're not ready. You're not built like this.
You wasn't hating, bro?
I wasn't hating. I was just like, yo, I knew she wasn't the type of girl to get in the type of situation that he was used to. She wasn't that type of girl.
No girls, all the girls that pretend they're like that usually aren't, you know?
But I let her know to her face, like, you are not built this way. And I told him, I was like, yo.
The hallmark of a good friend.
I was like, and I told him, I was like, yo, bro, I can see it. Don't do it. And he was like, yo, you're right. I was like, yo, bro, I'm dead ass. Don't do it. Like, you're going to fuck it up. And he's like, you're right. But as the famous quote goes, what was I supposed to do? Say no? Like, you can only say no so many times, bro. Like, you only say no so many times. And then, it happened. And then I caught her crying in the workplace about it. And I looked at her, and I don't even know why I said this goofy-ass shit. I said some goofy-ass shit. But she was like, you're right. You're not going to say nothing?
No, I didn't say it. It was like...
No. I'm going to say what I said. She's like, she asked me, he's like, did you know? Like, I think it was like her friend asked me how I feel. I was like, do you get mad when the sun come up? Like, I was like, I knew this was going to happen, bro. I already knew. Bro. I told you.
That's terrible. How you said some shit like that?
Because I knew. I knew, bro.
Why is the sky blue?
Bro, that's the last thing somebody wants to hear in the time of pain,
bro.
Man.
As I said that, she was like, you were right.
Goofy ass bit. But yeah, it's like.
And I was like, look,
nah, you gotta. I'll play neutral on that one, man.
See, look, man. It was because I saw it beforehand. I was like, look, man, this is not gonna end right. I'm still friends with both of them. It's not like I had to pick a side.
So you play neutral. That's playing neutral.
Nah,
you didn't dead one person.
I told both,
but you didn't dead one person.
To not do it. I told them
but
not to do it.
That's neutral. That's neutral. You didn't. That's literally neutral.
Like you staying out of it. I was in Switzerland, bro.
No, because they don't fuck with each other. They don't fuck with each other, right? They don't fuck with each other no more, right? They don't talk.
I think
all right, but they don't.
I think it could now. Bro.
But you didn't cut one person off in favor of someone else. And you didn't
conspire against one over the other.
Exactly.
Yeah, I told them both. I gave them both the opportunity, and it's not like I was like sitting out her door like a guard dog. Like, you can't be going in there, bro. You can't be.
Yeah.
Like, that was goofy.
I think that's the approach you got to take if you care about them both equally. But like, if you talk to her a couple times and y'all was never that cool, it's like, yeah, bro, you got to dead her in favor of the homie.
I remember something goofy I did once, and people keep trying to act like what I did was heroic, but I thought it was goofy. But one time I was at this, I was hanging out with some people I know, and there was a girl there that I did not know. Like, I didn't know her very well, and like, basically she went kind of like. Being kind of like, she was talking to some guy, and the guy, I think he was like trying to get like, he was like getting a little too close, and she was getting uncomfortable, right? So, I like went up to the guy, and like I was telling him, I was like, hey man, I don't think she's interested, man. I was like, I was being very pacifistic about it, trying to help him out. I was actually trying to help him out. I looked at him, I was like, there are tons of girls here, man. I was like, I just don't think she's interested.
Why are you playing hero, bro?
No, because I was part of the group, and the group was now getting like bothered by this guy. So now I'm trying to get him to leave the vicinity, right? And then he started getting like animated, and the moment he went animated, I grabbed him and moved him. Like it was just, I don't know why the fuck I did that. I just picked him up and moved him aside like he weighed nothing. And the moment I did that, he got really angry and he starts jumping up on me. And I'm just looking at him and like I'm trying to think in my head. I was like, how do I rectify this without beating the shit out of this guy? I was like, how do I do this? I was like, how do I now do this without hurting him? Because he was no threat to me unless he had a weapon. And this is the reason why it was dumb, because he could have had a weapon. And then like I was like, so then I did what the only thing I could think of. I was like, okay, let me try and be as peaceful as possible. I was like, hey, look, man, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that, man. I was like, I'm really sorry. And then, like the moment he could see in my eyes that I was serious, like I clearly regretted what I did. Suddenly he actually did start acting normal. He softened up and he started laughing. And like now he's joking. But then another guy comes and starts acting aggressive again. Another guy that was in the group and ruined the whole fucking thing. I was like, oh. I was like, I literally just got him to calm down. You came, spice him up again. But anyways, eventually he leaves, right? And now another guy we hang out with. This is not the kind of guy you should be messing with. This is not. You do not want to mess with this character. It is not. It is not. He is that guy. He's him. He's him. You know what they say? You're not that guy, pal. You're not that. He is that guy. He's the. What is it that the fucking that Fisk said in Daredevil? He is the ill intent. So he is the ill intent or some shit. That's what Fisk said. So what do you call it? The guy goes over there and I think he started saying something. And I think the guy's girlfriend, the guy that was with him, started feeling uncomfortable. So then within a few minutes of the guy being over there, you could see when I was looking over, the other guy who is that guy was trying to be calm and normal. Within a few fucking minutes, suddenly he jumped up and smacked the shit out of him. Smacked the shit out of him and then shoved him mad far away. And then I ran over at light fucking speed. And then like I'm trying to calm the other guy down. I'm like, bro, it's okay. It's okay.
Nah, that ain't okay. Chance is flying, bro. What you mean it's okay?
Yeah, but then
there's certain people where you gotta take that out. You have to.
But then security was coming. Security was coming, so I was like, hey,
taking shit.
I was like, bro, relax. Security's gonna handle it. And then when I said that, he relaxed.
Nah, bro. There's certain people you don't mess with.
See,
bro. No, EJ. If the man gets up and smacks the shit out you immediately,
I could have deserved it. I ain't even saying the guy not wrong. I'm just saying, in a moment of passion where you being prideful, bro, I'm getting my get back. That's just me though. I'm getting my get back, bro.
Nah,
EJ,
if I'm gonna be wrong, that's how I look at it. I'm being 100% wrong, bro.
Here's the thing. Beating God. That's all I'm
Here's the story I gotta tell you about this guy. The other guy did not give a fuck about, right? If it was like another situation where outside, I would have let the other guy gotten fucked up. I don't care. But the guy that I was with, you know, he's not the kind of guy who's just gonna tump you up and let it be. He's gonna really fuck you up. Like he's gonna do some real damage. It's not gonna be a normal fight. It's not gonna be a normal fight. It's gonna be the kind of fight people don't walk away from. That's the kind of guy.
Hey, if I'm gonna be wrong, bro, if I'm gonna make a wrong decision that night, I'm going 100% wrong, bro.
Just say so.
Bro, we could be God, bro. We could be God.
No, but here's the thing, EJ. Remember when someone got me angry and you knew that I could hurt that person? You stopped me from hurting that person.
Yeah,
right?
I did.
You knew
that. Hey, man, that was a certain point that if you take it up to another notch, there was no taming you, bro. You're gonna have to do what you're gonna have to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like I'm gonna try to restrain somebody. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna try to calm the situation down. But at the end of the day, if somebody determined enough, they're gonna do what they want to do.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
There was something like that happened to me once.
Unless we talking weapons, then I'll be like, yeah, nah, they ain't no like, bro, you could lose your life. I mean, you could lose your life out here without weapons. You know what I'm saying? You could get put into a coma. If their hands really work that way.
I remember when I bore Teray when it did something stupid. And they're like, why did you stop him? I was like, how?
How?
I was like, how was I supposed to stop him? I was like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Like, this is a grown, able-bodied man who he's just better than me. It's like,
that man's Teray. If he was doing some wild shit, like if I could not calm him with words, nah.
You can't stop him.
Nah, it's over for you, bro.
Yeah, full force.
It's like,
yeah, nah.
I'm like, yo, chill. He's like, no. I'm like, ah, damn, I tried.
Yeah,
It's like I'm already wrong in the situation. Like I'm already embarrassed, bro. Like I can't get to a lower point. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm already at the bottom.
You can 100% get to a lower point. You
always get to a lower point. Getting the shit smacked out of me is different. That is another level. If you just punch me in the mouth,
the lower point is ended up in the coffin. But at that point, I think
I can handle getting punched in the mouth. I think if you just punched me, I would be less offended than if you smack the shit out of me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like it's the way he described it. Like he slapped him and then pushed that man out of there, bro.
He smacked fire out of this guy.
Like I don't know, bro.
He smacked him so hard. We're in a dance hall with music and you can hear the smack. That's how hard he smacked him.
I ain't gonna lie.
Insanity.
I ain't gonna lie. They gonna be reading my eulogy like, damn, this nigga Eric was a fool. He could have. He could have just walked away that night, man. Why he had to do that?
They're gonna put on your tombstone. What was I supposed to just get slapped?
Yes.
I remember there was a video real quick. I know we about to sign off, but there was a video where celebrity it was Nipsey. I was just watching it. He got out. I think he got out his car and they was already recording him. Like a fan came up to him just with a camera in his face. He's like, "Yo, we in the hood. Like, you don't just run up on nobody. Put a camera in a man's face." He's like, "I understand that. Y'all excited to see me and shit, but like, you don't just do that to nobody." So then he took because the guy was with his girl. He went in her car and grabbed her phone and started recording them back. He's like, "Oh, yeah, you don't like that, right? You don't like that." He's like, "You can't do that, bro. You can't." He's like, "Why not?" He's like, "Because you just took her phone and then started recording us." But his whole idea to them that he was trying to tell them was that like, I don't care. Like he said, I don't mind going to jail. Like I don't mind dying. He said, I don't trip off that. I trip off respect. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, I'm ready to throw it away. You know what I'm saying? Throw in the towel. It don't matter. Even if you know what I'm saying, even if it leads to that, nobody wants it to lead to that. But if that's how you go out with, maintaining some kind of self-respect, I mean, it's kind of hard to maintain self-respect for you if everybody remembers you got slapped the shit out of. You can't. I don't think there's no way you could get your respect back. But you're gonna at least try. You're gonna go out trying. That's how I look at it. You're gonna go out trying.
Not me. Fuck respect. I don't give a fuck about that. And respect is fucking useless. Respect is useless the moment you're not in the vicinity of the people who respect you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can be respected in the hood. Everyone respects you.
But it ain't even about everybody in the club or whoever's around. Like you don't get. To me, I don't give a fuck about none of that. It's the respect I have for myself.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. My ultimate respect is I'm thinking in my head, okay, I could be fucking stupid and get shot by this guy.
I could get stabbed in this pizza shop. Yeah.
Or I could carry on my merry way and live the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like that's what
it's how you look at the situation, because your confidence or like your respect, that's the word we're using. Your respect might not waver for yourself. Like it might not waver in that moment. Like it might still remain the same. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what happens.
If you think that you can fight this guy and he's not going to try and kill you, he doesn't have a weapon. Because like fighting some guy in the club, even though the risk is probably exactly the same, might seem different to you. But like let's say you walk past some house in the projects and some guy who this is like a fucking gang member, and you
you're right. Bro, I'll take that out that day.
Yeah, suddenly it's gonna weigh in your mind. Like if I try and fight this guy, I can die, and not just I can die. My family might die. Like lots of people I know might die.
Yeah, we talked about that in the episode about the OG thing.
It's like it's a little. Yeah. But I mean, the funny thing is, it's the same risk as in the clubs and stuff. We just experienced that shit. Someone got shot when we were out there one night. So like shit like that happens. You never know. You get into an altercation with someone, and it might not. You might even think this person is not gangster. They're not that guy, and it might be because they're not that guy that they shoot you.
They become that guy. Become that guy.
Yeah, because you're in your head, you're like, oh, I could fuck this nigga up, and that's why he's not gonna fight you. He's just gonna shoot you.
I don't know why. Like,
you know you can fuck him up
with this kind of mentality, I should have got packed up a long time ago. I ain't gonna lie, but I be saying this to myself, like people when people be like, they always say to you like, man, like you don't mess with that guy. You don't know who he is. Well, what about me? They don't know who the fuck I am. Like I could be crazy. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I'm on his level of crazy, but they don't know who the fuck I am.
Yeah, I'll never forget.
Where was you know what I'm saying? They were being daring. They were being courageous when they did that. You know what I'm saying? I could be that. I could be like that too.
One more thing as we wrap things up.
Those type of people are just lucky.
Yeah,
I'm not that lucky.
Yeah. You can only be lucky so many times. I remember at one of my jobs, I remember I came late, and this is back when I lived in Mount Vernon. So with this nigga, when I told the boss that I lived in Mount Vernon, he immediately understood why I was late all the time, because it's like that shit was very far away. Like he knew that it's hard. It's not even that it was far away. Far away is one thing. It's travel. Public transportation out of this area is difficult.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he knew, and he would allow me some leeway. Like he was fine, and he tried explaining to everyone else, like this is part of why he's blah blah blah, right? Even then, I didn't try to make it too much of an excuse until I really didn't give a fuck about the job, so I just leave whenever I wanted. I reached that point. I was already looking for a new job at that point, so I stopped caring. I just show up whenever the fuck I wanted at a certain time. So I remember one day I came there late, and I told the guy I was gonna be late. That I called ahead of time, saying, yeah, I'm gonna be late. I get there late, and he starts getting kind of mad, and we're talking, and I'm not saying anything, because one, I'm the kind of guy where you can talk your head off and act bad all you want. I don't give a fuck. What matters to me is like words are cheap. Talk is cheap. Yeah. It's action.
Demonstrate that shit. Demonstrate.
So he's talking, and he wasn't really saying anything in particular to me, but there was something he said at the end that did flip a switch on inside of me, where he was like, because he's like, yeah, people can't keep being late like that, because I'm crazy. Like I'm crazy. And immediately I looked at him, I was like, bro, the same way you could get crazy, I could get crazy too, bro. I was like, that's what I said to him.
That'd be my mentality. Even if I'm not crazy, I could be the most sane person alive, but you ain't know that when you made that decision.
Exactly.
You just assume something about me. I could hook off on you right now.
Like the moment he said,
say I don't care about consequences. Like
the moment he said I could get crazy, I determined it as a threat. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to leave your threat unchecked. I have to let you know that I'm not the guy
you gotta send that reminder. Yeah, send that reminder.
So that's why I said that. Like even then, it was a strategic thing. It wasn't like I was just being stupid. So I said, and he starts losing his shit. Of course, he doesn't do anything. He goes, "What you trying to say?" Is what he started doing. And I was like, "I'm trying to say that the same way you could." I was like, "One, no one's not saying anything." I was like, I'm just trying to say to you, bro, that if you bring it to a certain level, I can bring it to that same level. I was like, we don't know each other. I was like, it's not that serious, bro.
You see, when you play in the world of ifs, there's these endless possibilities. We're not actually bringing it to that reality, but we can go along with these ifs. You can play this game. I could play it too. Not saying I am, but
I was saying complete and it's funny because he's screaming it, he's losing his shit like he's a woman. And I'm sitting there completely it was like some Clint Eastwood shit. I was talking mad chill and slowly saying we can bring it there if you want to. It's like, and then he walks off to the bathroom, and instead of threatening me, he threatens our fucking supervisor. He's on the phone, our supervisor talking about how he will fuck him up and shit. And our supervisor's an old man. Like supervisor's much older than us. Some fatter older guy in his 50s or something. Shorter than us. I was like, okay, so you got the real threats and the words for the time. Yeah, you got that. You got the energy for him, but you didn't have it for me.
Y'all was having like a showdown.
Like, nah, not this one.
Yeah, y'all was having like those Western showdowns where both of y'all could draw your gun and get it on each other. It's like, who gonna draw first?
I'm not the one, bro. I'm not the one. I'm the same guy who, in that same security, had just, and that shit at that point in time probably was less than a year ago that I just threw somebody down an escalator. So it's I'm not the one.
What 50 Cent said, I don't be having a problem, but if they want a problem, then it'll be a problem.
That's one of the first fights I almost got into The reason it didn't happen was because the kid was like telling me, "Oh, we can fight. And I kept saying to him, I was like, I don't want to fight, but if you force me to, I will have to defend myself. And I just kept repeating that over and over and over again. And then his older sister came and was like, "How old are you?" I was like, "I'm 14." And the other kid was like 13. She's like, "Come on," and dragged her brother away.
Yo, I wonder, what if you were like, "I'm 12"? What if she was like, "Yo, beat his ass"?
I don't know, because I was like, because I think something about the way I kept saying it made her become unnerved. Like you can see the look on her face. Because I just kept, because when I said it, I was saying it mad calmly and like chill and just looking at the guy saying, "I will be forced to defend myself. I will be forced to defend myself." And I meant it with every fiber of my being. I was like, I'm going to do what it takes to defend myself. Because remember when I was in elementary school, I wasn't the most gangster guy, but when they would try to mess with me, I would be like, okay, I have to scare them. So I'd start acting nuts.
And that's my whole thing. It's more of like a scare tactic when you call somebody on that bluff. Like you be thinking shit sweet out here. Like you could just walk all over somebody. You could just walk up to them and say whatever you want, or give pass these small threats over to them. Like, and I'm not supposed to respond. I'm supposed to just stand idle. Like, nah, bro. Like, there's consequences to your actions.
Yes.
There might be consequences to my actions after I'm done. But hey, man, just like you don't care, I might not care today. You might have caught me on the wrong day. You know what I'm saying? I might be willing to throw it all the way today.
That same guy later, some guy had came into the facility, and it's funny because this guy was like spazzing this kid. I think he had like a screwdriver or something, and the kid, I don't even think he was that much younger than me. So the guy, he ran. Apparently, he was running and being chased around by the guy with the screwdriver. And like the other guys who worked, because this was like a facility, and there were people who worked in there. It was like an energy facility. Every time they would see me, they would keep bringing up the story about how funny it was when they saw him running around, and like he was really mad because apparently nobody tried to help him. But then I was like in my head, I was like, I mean, why did you run? That was the first thought. And the reason why I said why did you run is because basically in the facility, right? One, the direction he ran made no sense.
There's nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's what.
There's nowhere to go.
First thought.
What the fuck is he doing?
The facility had these checkpoints, and you have to work in the facility to scan into the checkpoints. And there are certain parts with security guards. So the direction he ran, there'd be no way out. So it's like him running in there made no sense. I was like, if anything, you should have tried to bop the guy like you were in basketball and get past him. But the other thing is, we have these like heavy scanning things. And I was like, you could have just taken that up and whacked his ass upside the head. I was like, you could have defended yourself. I was like, so you really weren't that guy. You were sitting there acting bad and tough, but you were never that guy. You would have gotten packed up, as EJ said.
And this is somebody like I'm not gonna say I'm pacifistic, but I don't advocate for violence. But I've said this like my entire life. Like I try to like not challenge people. I don't know how to put this. Like not just let people walk all over you like a pushover, but there are obviously things you tolerate and things that you're just gonna accept. Like you don't have to feel like you have to fight somebody every time they took they took a jab at you. Not saying that.
There's a time and place for playing the fool. There's sometimes
this
fool can be
exactly.
There's a time and place. Because I'll tell you what, if that nigga came at me with no screwdriver, I would have picked up that heavy ass scanning thing. I would have beat the shit out of that guy. Especially you're coming at me with a screwdriver. My first thought would be like, there's nowhere else to go. I'm gonna have to kill this guy. I was like, that was my first thought. I was like, there's nowhere else I can go.
Bro, I mean, the man when you was doing I forgot where you was working at when he spit on you, bro, and you tossed that man like a
rag doll.
Some people will sit there and tell you to eat that though. I'm saying like, you're not harmed. You just got some spit on you. You'll be all right. Everything will be fine. I'm saying. But it's like there's certain levels.
My mom was very mad at me. But what my mom said was understandable because she was like, why didn't you just hit him? Why you didn't have to throw him down the escalator?
Yeah.
You have a point. But it's like I wasn't thinking anymore. I didn't feel satisfied when I hit him. It is the disrespect did not feel like it had been properly dealt with.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and it's funny because as I'm looking at him rolling down the escalator, I wanted to do more, but I had to. That's when I had to calm myself. It was like another me came. Was like,
in that moment, you're not thinking clearly. You seeing red, so
but thankfully I was able to calm myself. Because imagine I run down the escalator and start beating his ass again, then I get arrested or something. That would have been yeah. And that girl I was dating also gave me shit for that. Fucking talking about it.
Yeah, people will sit there and tell you it's not worth it, like just like that. But it's like, bro, I'm human, bro, and he knew what he was doing when he decided to spit my way. Like he knew what he was doing.
He knew that it would impact me in that way. It's like, because like even me, like I never try and like pretend. Like basically, like I try my hardest to try and understand the other person. So like there was a situation where I was talking, someone did something, and like the other people I was with, they were acting like what they did. They're acting like, oh, that's crazy. And I was like, I mean, like you gotta remember though. I was like trying to put the other person's shoes. I was like, this person, it's like it's when you're really mad, it's hard to, and even like not even just with anger. Like I remember this guy I know, he received a text from a friend, and it was I think I mentioned this in another episode too. The friend was like venting to him and crying. And he was like talking about like how like they were making fun of the guy. I was like, well, you gotta understand, like, in order for him as a man to be literally there crying his eyes out to you, that means whatever he was going through in that moment was unfucking bearable. I was like, you gotta and as soon as I started saying it, it started coming more into context. They were more understanding. I was like, yeah, you gotta like, no, you don't just go bawling your eyes out unless something really fucked you up,
Yeah.
But anyways, I guess it's time to
it's before we keep incriminating ourselves.
Yeah.
Facts. But yeah, no to violence, man. Try to,
I've never done anything violent in my life. I don't think I know anyone who's ever committed violent act in their entirety, bro. No one here has committed any violence, right?
I try to make it seem like you should go to jail, man. I won't advocate for that.
Yeah, never. Anytime you have I would rather you run from a fight. I mean, Jocko Willings was talking about that. Jocko Willings had a thing where he was saying it was mad funny because he's on thing. He looks like he's about to say something mad tough. He's like, if I'm in a situation where I have to defend myself, he was like, I'm going to run. I'm going to remove myself from the situation. That's what he said. And he was like, it's not worth it. He's like, it's just not worth it. He's like, even if I now defend myself and I really hurt this guy, now I'm going to jail for what? And I was like, yeah, you have a point. Because it happens. I remember this woman was getting abused by some guy. I think it was like her pimp. And the other dude beat the shit out of the guy, but he beat him up too badly. And the guy went to the hospital. So he went to jail. And it's like, come on, man. Sometimes you gotta just take it on the chin. You have no choice.
Yeah. Like I said, we're not gonna incriminate ourselves